Hotep Senu, Hena Senut, E.T., Ren Ishakandugu Kemet. Hope you're doing well, brothers and sisters. I have to check the sound. We have Shakara King Black in the place. To be peace to you. I hope you're doing well. Let me check the sound. Just 1 second. It's been a hot minute. You win. What's that? Okay. Okay. I could hear a baby girl, so it's working well. All right. It's been a little while, brothers and sisters, but I wanted to greet the family. I just had that Medu class, so as usual, after I give a class, I'm quite in a good mood. So I did not plan on doing the live stream, but I figured, let me talk to the family and see what's good. You must have noticed this video that I've uploaded, which is a throwback because it's dated. It's dated. It's a few years old, actually a decade old. It was from 2011. It is mentioned in the video, but I had this exchange with that author called Christian Prince, and this dude, accused me of being an undercover Muslim, and he was so sure, so convinced, and for him to believe, allegedly, or for him to be convinced that I am not a Muslim, he wanted me to say all kinds of things about Islam, negative things. But this dude, even though he's an author, he's anonymous and unidentified. We don't know who he is. We don't know where he stays. We don't know anything at all. And at one point in the conversation, when I brought up the fact that he was anonymous, because he had the nerves to call me, a coward. So he's the one hiding, but I'm the coward. And when I brought up the fact that, he's anonymous, he said, and you can hear it, he said, what do you want to know? Do you want to kill me? So the guy who's betting people to say negative things about Islam, and you will have to face a heat while he's hiding. He can say whatever he wants. He acts like he's courageous and labeling people as coward when he's the one hiding. How did all of this start? It was very simple. He called a radio broadcast and he talked about in the Quran, and he gave the chapter, and he says that in the Quran he talks about black slave for the black slave. And as you can hear from the beginning, I called him about that because I actually made a video where I show the Quranic passage, and it doesn't say black slave at all. It says slaves, period. Slave, period, which is the Arabic word abid. So after I made that video, he knew about it and he made a response. But in his response, he said a whole lot of things, but he did not address the main point of him misquoting the Quran. You see, now it's not an issue of whether you believe in the Quran or not. Because I don't believe in the Abrahamic literature. I'm not Abrahamic, but they have a text, they have a corpus, so we go by this corpus whenever we address um, certain claims, or particularly if someone refers us to one of the passage of these books. So instead of him just saying, well, my tongue slipped, I wasn't accurate enough, I made a slight mistake, however he wanted. Instead of just saying that, he kept going and going and going. So you can hear his arrogance. Nancy, Nancy, Nancy. You can hear his arrogance and his lack of respect. You can hear how many times he labeled me as being stupid and all kind of things, all kind of things. Amazingly, at the end, he said that I insulted him. I called him a son of a you know what, and I never said that. Um. Well, for those who are not aware, we have Mansa Musa who's addressing what Farrakhan said. And for those who are not aware, greetings to you, Abju Ware. For those who are not aware, now Abju, that's Abydos, for those who don't know. That's Medu Necher or hieroglyphic. For those who are not aware about what Farrakhan said, it's only 3 minutes. Listen up.
So Shabazz was not permitted to stay in that area, so he took his family into the jungle of East Asia, which we now call Africa, to make a people close to nature. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this is the origin of kinky hair, because we didn't have kinky hair prior to that. The hair on our head was like the hair on our eyebrows. The hair on your eyebrows straight, the hair on your head is not the same as the hair on your eyebrow. But the hair of every other people is the same as their eyebrow. Your eyebrow straight, your hair something different. Wouldn't you like the hair on your head to be as straight as the hair on your eyebrow? That's why you so busy frying it. That's why you so busy pulling it. Because your nature tells you that the kink I mean, with I'm black and I'm proud, we got to learn to be proud of kinks. Because most of your family of other black people on the earth, jet black. They didn't have no broad nose and thick lips and kinky hair. They were dark-skinned people, jet black. But they had straight hair, a thinner lip, a thinner nose. But we are marked as a different kind of black person. And we were rejected and despised, not only from the circle of the gods, but we were despised and rejected by all the other dark people of the earth. This is why today black people with kinky hair and broad nose and thick lips are rejected in every society. I want you to hear me well tonight. Yes, sir. Why are we rejected? Because the essence of beauty is in obedience and submission to God. And the essence of ugliness is when you rebel against God. And when you rebel against God, in your rebellion, you are marked with a certain mark of your rebellion, which is the disfigurement of your internal self, which manifests in the disfigurement of your external self. And this is why when you look at our people, wherever we are found on the earth, you find us either disfiguring ourselves physically because we are disfigured on the inside because of rebellion.
Um, can you hear me? Okay. Um, Now you heard it from the horse's mouth. This is a teaching of the Nation of Islam. Now, actually, Abju well wrote its own, and indeed I can see him. He's on the panel now. I'm going to put him on, and it's funny because the audio, the conversation with me and the Christian author, that was 2011, and 2011 that was a year when we parted ways. So it's good to see that he's coming to holler. So, brother Uncle, I'm going to put you on in a couple of seconds. What's up, bro?
What's going on, bro? You know, man, you ain't part ways, man. That was that battle between you and the Muslim, yo. I mean, so shit. I mean,
He
at
he
the end
he
of the
he, wa-
day,
he was part of this. He was part of the squad, bro.
yeah, it went the way it went. No, you're right. You're right. But it went
Yeah.
the way it went. And
Hmm.
I'm just saying you was right. And I've been told you that shit, you was right. And
Hmm.
you know, eventually we parted ways, right? So, you know, but I mean, if you're right, you're right. Sometimes you be vindicated by the truth.
Hmm.
And I did, you know, it was just my job to try to keep everybody together. And you know, it's just a progression, yo. So I just want to let everybody know this watching you. You've been banging on this, right? You was ahead of your time on that. You was that's matter of fact, that's your video you clipped together. So you was right there. That's why you was on the squad, because you was cutting edge. And I always appreciate your work. And I'm just saying, yo, once you're on the squad, you're always on the squad. Not unless you get kicked off. And you ain't get kicked off. So I mean, you know, I don't know what I don't know. But I'm proud of you, man, the work you do, man. And you know, and the work you've been doing from day one, bro. It's powerful work. But that Lewis guy, man, he wrong on so many levels right there. Disrespecting the African culture the whole way through. You know, when you might have ear piercings, you might wear rings in your lip, you might tattoo yourself, whatever it is, that was part of our culture, whether it's in Egypt, anywhere else. So he's denying all that. And then you got to have straight hair because he got straight hair. If you know, we find out, we recognize that the Nation of Islam was really a cult for light skinned people. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to say, but that's the way they set that up, where all their leaders is light skinned. You ain't got no jet black leaders in the Nation of Islam at no time period, right? And if you're not light skinned, you're not of God, because their number one leader was a white boy, right? But he was a European, and what else he said he was? European and man, what's that? Turk. But the Turks are white, right? So that was their whole thing to get us in this cult, deny our Africanness, and it's a bunch of malarkey. They've been a cult from day one out the gate. Matter of fact, I banged on them the whole Black History Month. So you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you doing what you do, bro. Yep.
Yeah. Good to hear from you, bro. So, if you don't mind, just stay with us. We have us. Oh, well, he's gone. He's, well, brother, good God, feel free to call back in. So, tell me what's up, what's popping, man? What's going on, man?
Hey man, we just over here just just teaching scientific literacy, man, keeping it going with the pseudo killers, the Masi, Kofi Pasi research team, writing books. I'm working on my second book. We got a lot of works to our credit, man. We just doing what you doing, bro. We just
Mm,
in a different part of the world, man. You know what I mean?
mm.
Right information, right wisdom. I mean, shit. YouTube killed both of us, as a matter of fact. Right? So I'm just trying to rebound from that. They start messing with our channels, killing the whole thing. I mean, glad to see you
They, they,
back, man. Go ahead.
they've deleted your channel.
Yeah, that's like my third. Yeah. Yeah. So what
Um,
yours?
the Anka Cake channel.
Yep. Well, that's still up, but I can't get into it. It don't matter. I still got that on there, but they took the Real Black Atheist Library channel and they took the Amara Squad channel. Yep. with all the
Dang,
nails
because
and all the work.
oh, all
Yeah,
right. Because like I saw it like
yeah.
maybe a couple of
Catch up.
days ago.
Yeah,
No,
but
I'm in Raw Squad.
I ain't had a day. No, you saying the Raw Squad Media?
Oh,
That's a
okay,
new one.
okay. Well, what? Okay. Oh, you mean the old one, the I'm in Raw Squad period is gone, is it?
Yeah, it had close to 100,000 views, man. Viewers.
Oh.
Yup. And the real Black Atheists Library, they had about 50,000 subscribers. They took all that. Yep. Around that time, I was fighting with the young pseudo, the young feral
Oh.
guy.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had so many well, not serious beef, but we when I say we, I mean, we as a people or
Right.
as a community.
Right.
And it was a shame because I remember it was supposed to be a debate, and it was either the day before, or the same day that
Day
they
before.
decided not to go along with the debate. But at the end of the day, um, um, I think I don't know. I don't know how people feel, but eventually things might cool off, and we might be able to do some things because I remember in 2008, everybody was into Kemet. It's like yeah, Kemet was kind of dominating in. Oh, okay. It's probably gonna come back, but Brother Onk was disconnected. I think it's a connection issue. Oh, there it goes back.
All right, go
Okay.
ahead. All right, go ahead.
So yeah, and then then we had a Asiatic invasion
Oh, it, it,
with someone who came in like this.
If you want to get authentic about blacks conquering blacks, throw Maya in the trash can, throw Amin Ra, the slave making God away.
So when they came in like this, a lot of people were happy and they jump on the bandwagon. And
yeah.
up till recently, we had some people saying all kind of things. But at the end of the day, after a good dialogue, we get some clarity. I mean, for example, how Brother Garfield used to talk Egyptomaniac and all these things, but spoke to him a few days ago, and this is what he had to say.
Kemet is the greatest empire in history. You don't need to compare. If anybody want to compare, like, we trying to get to Kemet level. Kemet is number one.
So the discourse is different now. The speech is different now, And I'm not even saying it's the greatest empire ever. I usually said it's the greatest empire that we know of. But we have people throwing arrows, but it's all good. It
Nah,
is what it is.
you know what you gotta realize? That they not talking about what you teach, bro. Like there's a difference between accurate Christianized Egyptian when Jabari and what you doing. You teach accurate historical of what Kemet was and what it wasn't. They make it new age with Egyptian what they call it, yoga, Egyptian yoga, all that. Like, come on, man. That's not what, come on, man. Come on, that's Egyptian art, man. That's not a yoga pose, yo. That's the way they did. You know what I'm saying? Like I took an art class when I was in senior and they talked about the way they standardized art because we was dealing with Greek art, Roman art, even Egyptian art, standardized way they was. Like, Egyptians understood the form of the human body. They knew how it worked. They understood anatomy. But they to actually do what you call when a person dies and you cut them open, autopsies, right? They did the mummification, so they knew where everything was. They knew They knew how the skin set on the bone, how the muscle set on the bone. They knew they could draw accurate people if they wanted to, but they had a stylized art. So today in America, people take that stylized art and call Egyptian yoga. You know what I'm saying? They take culture from Hindu culture. They take culture from China, and they all mix it in with Egyptian stuff. That's not Nile Valley, man. That's what we be talking about. I just want to let you know that's what we talking about. We're not talking about what you teach, bro. Like, who could deny that? You right there with the Louvre is. You can go to the Louvre and see that great civilization which had 3 golden ages. That ain't what we be talking about. So what you think about that? Think I'm just saying that or what?
Well, Jabari is getting a lot of heat, but I'm not sure if it's warranted. I'm not sure if he deserves all that heat. Um, Now the yoga, that's something else.
That's what they
But
teach. That's what he teach.
well, not Jabari doesn't teach that.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about? Absolutely.
Jabari,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Jabari.
saying. He say horse is Jesus. Horse is not Jesus.
Well, I haven't heard him say that, but
Oh man, you ain't looked at him.
mm,
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to put you. He's saying the word Egypt, but he's not teaching what you're teaching. I just want you. I'm just saying, like you go to the museums, bro. That's not.
you sure? You sure you said Horus is Jesus?
I'm positive. What are you talking about?
Well, Asai Imhotep used to say that Allah is in the Egyptian text, and he said something about Jesus. Well, hold on. Uh, he said something also about Jesus. Well, that was some years back, though. However, but hold
Yeah.
on. It's okay, maybe not this one. Shh. Uh, so that's the one, and now, shh. Wait. Uh, I don't have the quote anymore, but I might hold on. Might have it there. Oh, this is a bit long. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Wesley was saying that Allah was trying to make Amen a Saudi Arabian god or something like that. Oh, that was Wesley, and that was in
Well, Wesley. Well, I have his book there behind, but
Ross.
he said rise Allah.
Right.
He said, and amazingly, he wrote a book um
So
to refute Osa, and it wasn't the title Ra is not Allah.
no, that's the book that Asar wrote. That Ra is not Allah.
Oh, okay, my bad. But yeah, indeed. I mean, yeah, Wesley Muhammad. Let me double check, but the book should be there. Hold on. I can't find it because since baby girl has grown now, she's grabbing all the books. So I have to the books have to be removed from the bottom shelf of
Oh yeah, boy.
the thing. Yeah, so it's somewhere behind. But yeah, from memory, he did write in his book that rise Allah. But yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, I mean, Wesley Muhammad challenged me to debate. I accepted, and he backed down. But Wesley Muhammad was just trying to push back the lifespan of Islam, trying to push it way back, talking about Proto-Semitic
Yep.
as if it's a language. It's a language family, but not a language. And he would basically talk about the Canaanite DTL. That's what he will talk about. So because he went on stage talking about we have record of Allah before Osar, but what he showed to the public during that debate. It was El or El, the supreme Canaanite deity, you know, and El is not Allah. I mean, well, some people might argue it's the same, but the audience is not necessarily up on game when it comes to those things. So you know,
Now, you can fake them out. I agree with you.
mm,
Yeah, but check.
but
I can send you a video where they saying we call it Egyptian mania. But it ain't that. It ain't that to those who study for real. Those who are in the museums. And you familiar with New Age culture, am I correct?
I've heard of it, but you know,
Yeah, Google it, New Age. And you'll see they mix Egypt with everything. That's what we're talking about. You should do a little study on that. Yeah, I call it New Age. Yeah, New Age. Look it up. The New Age, where they start blending Hindu culture, Indian culture, Chinese culture. They blend it all together, yo. Yeah.
the melting pot, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
just stay with us, brother Unc. We have someone called David Wontog. I'm going to put you on the channel in a couple of seconds. Greetings, feel free to speak.
Wesley Muhammad's not the only one running, you know.
Okay. This is Alquan. Um, he knows why I don't put him on the panel. He used to come, even though we don't share the same views.
Mhm.
And one day he was very very disrespectful, and I told him, I don't feel like putting him on. However, I did tell him that if he wants to show his face, then I can put him on. But
I'm
what is
sure.
strange is that he said that he has somewhere where he can kick it, but he always comes back here, and once again, brother Aquan, I don't have any hate towards you. You've been disrespectful. You call me a white supremacist, and that's not cool. Now we have brother good God. I don't see the full name, but I'm going to put you back on.
Oh, man.
Greetings, feel free to speak.
Greetings, my brother from France.
Greetings.
I would have showed my. I'm having camera issues with this particular laptop because I know that you like to people to show their face. That's why. Only reason why I came in because I saw you had the other guy. He came on. He didn't have his face. But when I fix up my computer in a minute, then I'll show you my face because I know you want to see people's face before they come on.
Well, it's at one point I said that that's how it will be, but I kind of changed my mind on that because it's not easy for everybody. Um, but for Alcon is something else. He's been. I mean, like I said, he called me a white supremacist amongst so many other things. But you are from England, brother. Your voice seems familiar. You've called before, didn't you?
Yeah, Carbon Radio from back in the day. You wanted to debate me.
Damn, brother. To debate you?
I think you wanted to talk to me. I can't really debate you on Egypt, really, But yeah,
I
you
don't
want to talk
remember
to me
wanting to
though.
debate you, but
I
you you,
wanted to
you used
defend.
to
I was
you
going to
used to.
defend the nation. No, I'm a defender of Elijah Muhammad.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
But
a Sufi Muslim though.
mm,
But
you
I'm a
you used to
defender. Yeah,
you
go on,
used to
brother.
yeah, sorry. You used to call the radio broadcast, didn't you? African Truth.
I'm an African truth.
No, I mean, uh, uh, didn't you used to call? You know when I used to
I've
do the
called. I've
radio?
called in your
Yes.
show before. Yeah, I've called in your show before.
Yeah.
I have called in your show before. But
Okay.
I
Well.
know that at that time you had way more knowledge. I knew I was out of my depth.
mm,
At that stage.
mm.
What's going on,
And
God Killer? Are you ain't gonna say hello to me or nothing like that, bro?
I said, I see you, man. You're a nut. You're a nutcase. I'm gonna let you start nutting up.
Don't
but
don't
but
listen to him, Shaka.
Yo, you
oh,
ain't
it's
stop.
so good. Apparently, you know each other. Now,
You know him
now,
too, man. You just beat him up all the
well,
time. That's how
I don't remember. I remember
yeah,
his
man.
voice. I
Called
remember
us
the
on the
name.
show. We always used to beat him down unmercifully, yo.
Shaka
All
was
right.
never on those shows when I used to beat you lot.
Okay. So basically, you saying you're Sufi Muslim, but you're defending the nation of Islam teaching. You mean
I'm
what we've
defending
heard
the
from?
teachings that came from Elijah Muhammad. I believe that
Okay.
Farrakhan's working for the best interest of the devil. I don't think he's standing, and a lot of the stuff that he's teaching is lies. I will agree. Elijah Muhammad did say some stuff, um, some some ignorant stuff. At in this time, it would be seen as ignorant. I would say that a lot of the stuff that he was saying back then, he did have real love for Africa. He did want before he died. He was the last 2 years of his life. He was planning to go back to Africa and teach Islam out there. He was asked in when he took a trip to Africa and the Muslim world. He was asked by the guy that started the revolution in what's his name, Nassar of Egypt. He was offered a 70-room palace. This is FBI files as well. Back this up, and he was offered to stay in Africa and teach Islam to French West Africa, but he decided to go back to America. He said that he needed to teach Islam to his but wake up his brothers in America. They said that they would never accept Islam in Africa. That's what they said to him. Maybe he's right. That's what what's it, Nassar. I'll look him up. I'll just get his name so we can be sure on this, brother.
Okay. So here we have Elijah Muhammad in the Theology of Time, page 92, and he wrote and he said actually,
Kamal
y-
at
y-
Nassau. Yes, go on.
okay, he said you will never be able to convert me. No, because you should first do like the preacher in the jungle of Africa and Australia and other far off Pacific islands, preach to the savage to hide his nakedness. And this is the first preaching we give to a savage to cover your nakedness. He also said, we don't consider Africa's people of the jungles anything for us to follow or be taught by. If you're not civilized, you can't lead a civilized person. And in the same book, page 92 to 93, he wrote, if you tell me to go to Africa, I will go there, but don't tell me to go there to be civilized. I'm already civilized and I'm ready to civilize Africa. So is this the part that you label as
No, he said well, listen, brother. I said that he did say that those stuff he did say. He even said he had attacked the Afro. He attacked the African clothing, that we shouldn't be trying to dress like that. Not on a level that he believed that we weren't being taken respectfully by the our culture, based upon our mores, our old ways being um not respected by the establishment or the system. But he did say that he was against, that he did push against those things, certain African traditions and stuff like that. So I'm not going to deny that, but I believe that based up on it was his time and the way he came from the south, it just on the because he wasn't a guy that was he was more straight off the cuff, you know what I mean? Like, he just spoke in his mind, you know what I mean? You see what I'm
but
saying? But
I
yeah.
would like to ask you a question. Why don't you join the Nation of Islam then?
No, I said I don't follow Farrakhan. All of the establishments out here, they follow. They're all in line with Minister Farrakhan and Dianetics. And I believe Dianetics is
Mm,
dangerous.
mm. Well, the conscious community is cool with the Dianetics. Athletes, entertainers, rappers, singers,
Yeah,
they
so
are
I
cool.
believe
They
it's
are cool.
dangerous.
They are cool with that. But there's other Nation of Islam, so to speak. You have different movements. Silas Muhammad and others like that. You're not really interested in joining those other kind of movements.
I would if Silas Muhammad had a camp out here, I would join Silas Muhammad. I
I
like
see. I
what
see.
I'm more in league with what he's teaching.
Mm.
100%. Yeah, I'm
I,
in
I,
love
I see.
with Silas, but not
I
the
see.
rest of them. I don't. I think some of them, the other leaders like Marvin and all these other guys, they're saying that Elijah Muhammad's in the mothership with Master Farah Muhammad,
Mm,
and he never died. That's because his body was no one ever got to see his dead body, so that's
mm,
why they can make that claim. You know.
mm. I see.
So
Now, did you have something maybe that I've said that you disagree with, or some statement you wanted to make?
No, I just wanted to. No, I was just trying to make you understand that Elijah Muhammad at the time, because Americans at that time would have said way more, was saying way more ignorant stuff about Africa. Do you see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I said, it was. I would say it was more out of ignorance at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm. Now you
And he
see,
wasn't allowed. He tried to go to West Africa, but the FBI was blocking him. They didn't really. The FBI was trying to make sure they stopped him from getting from, because he went to North Africa, Morocco,
mm,
but they were
mm,
trying to stop him from going in because he was trying to look at see the world and stuff like that, and he
mhm,
wanted to go to Africa, but they did stop him. They
mm,
they stopped his visa when he wanted to go to West Africa. That was the main thing that that the FBI didn't want him to go to West Africa.
mhm. But with Africa, I've heard that often that people didn't really know what's up and they were under the stereotypes and stuff like that. That's one thing. But you've heard what Farkan said, and mind you, what Farkan said, that's the nation of Islam doctrine that Elijah Muhammad talked about. We didn't have kinky hair, you see. Now, I didn't hear Elijah Muhammad say that we are mark, disfigurement, the essence of ugliness. This is the
He
way
never said
Farrakhan
that.
yeah, that's the way Farrakhan articulated it. But however, Elijah Muhammad did teach that we didn't have kinky hair. That in order to endure the life in the jungle of East Asia,
Hmm.
then we went from being more delicate. There's even that TV interview where he says we were more delicate,
No,
and that's
yeah,
mhm,
I agree with that, because when we look at the woolly hair, right, the black man with woolly hair, it can only be found in Central Africa, West Africa, and South Africa. We find it in North Africa, but it's more, you can only find the woolly haired people in Africa. So like most other continents, you're getting black people, and then you're gonna get more straight. They've mostly got straight hair. Like the indigenous of America were black straight haired people, just like the Aborigine, Asia, and other places. So yeah, I agree with
You
that.
serious, yo?
Mate, the sun must have changed. I believe that the sun can change the molecular structure of the hair, and like based upon the heat or where you're going to, because we was more to going in the more central Africa you get. I believe that it can change the genetic, and you've been around that for a while. I believe the sun can make it right, your hair rise to the sun.
okay.
So yeah.
Before I let our brother Radio
Man, can I
One,
jump in on that, man, real quick?
well, feel free, and after that, I will let Radio One and Dark Matter get their chair. But go ahead, brother. On.
Yeah, so we not gonna sit here in 2021 and deny biological human evolution and act like you remotely even know what you're talking about. You just look. The man had a problem against African Americans. He was trying to fake us out. Simple as that. So the other black people he was talking about, they wasn't even black people. They was people of color based off of their geographical region. They wasn't Africans. That man denied the fact that we are Africans directly coming from Africa. We are
Yes.
the descendants of African people. The Hindus, the Indians, although their great ancestor comes from Africa, the Europeans' great ancestor comes from Africa, right? But those who end up going to Britain and France and in America in the slave trade was directly from Africa.
Hmm.
We was continental Africans.
I believe that we're
No, you
descendants
cut
of the
me off. You
Badarian
cut me
people.
off,
Oh
man.
God, sorry
You
man,
cut me
sorry
off.
bro,
You
sorry.
don't know what you're talking about. African Americans, people that got caught up in the slave trade that ended up in Europe and France and those different European nations, right, were continental Africans. That means we had not left Africa to mutate in other portions of the world. We was continental Africans. We were displaced and we were kidnapped victims. That guy had a whole doctrine against his damn self. Because matter of fact, he wasn't even a continental African. Like he said, he was a Turk and a European, bro. So I reject the foolery. And then you coming on here spewing the foolery about what kind of hair. Man, get out of here, man. Stop that, man. Humans are diverse, bro. So he was actually had a war against continental Africans, which we were. Plain and simple, bro. Like, come on, man. That's just hogwash, dude. I can't believe you saying that. I can't believe
but
you fixing your mouth to promote hogwash. It's just ridiculous, though.
well,
But go
you
ahead.
know, he's a follower of Elijah Muhammad. Like there are so there are plenty of other followers, but I would like to ask you, is he still here? Oh yes. Um, do you believe that you change gods every 25,000 years?
Um, we're dealing with, well, we know, we have to understand, right? Based up on the based up on the times change, innit? Like I would say that the teachings of Jesus was good for its time, I believe. All right, we would probably need right now a new religion. I could agree that we need to make a new book, a new book based upon the science and the technology that's out now. You see what I'm saying? Based upon the advancements of human civilization, you would need a different way to get that God consciousness out of you, because we've got a lot of technology and stuff like that. The Bible and the Quran don't have nothing for that.
Oh
I
God.
believe that, hold on, I believe that the computers and the internet is a wicked device. Obviously, I still
But
use
brother,
it,
hold on,
but
hold on, hold on. I'm sorry, brother, but really, I would like to know. You said that you follow Elijah Muhammad, and you said, if I'm not mistaken, you said that you're a Sufi Muslim. Is that
right,
correct?
right.
Okay. So do you believe? Because I'm not too familiar with the Sufi Muslim. I'm most familiar with the Sunni Muslims, but the Sunni Muslim feel like there's only one God. It's the one that created the heavens and the earth. But the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad thought that they changed God every 25,000 years.
Mhm.
S-
And
Do, 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 you- do you agree with that?
yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Now, you believe in Allah, do you?
Yes, of course, the supreme creator, yes,
Okay.
the
So,
most
is Allah still alive?
is a lot, of course.
So, the same Allah who created the heavens and the earth, he's still
Hmm.
alive today?
Yeah, obviously, but brother, we gotta understand, because I understand that
Mm.
everyone likes to
Because
say,
I'm sorry, I'm
because
sorry.
of
The reason I'm asking this question is because I don't know if you're aware, but Elijah Muhammad thought that the God that created the heavens and the earth, he's dead. He's no longer here. Did you know that?
okay, well, I mean, no, what I was more meaning in terms of the spirit. Obviously, he's talking about the scientists and I mean,
Yes.
that built up this planet. Yeah, I mean, like the spirit is still on the planet, because the planet's still moving. You know.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, feel free to stay with us. Dark Matter will put you slightly later on, but we had Radio One just before you, so please, if you don't mind, Dark Matter, stay with us. Hotel Radio One, how you
Je
doing,
suis
brother?
impatient, mon frère. Je suis impatient.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We have a Haitian brother there.
Yes, brother. Can you hear me?
Well, he spoke French, but yeah, I can hear you already. One, he spoke French, but I could hear that Haitian accent, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, go ahead, Radio One.
Oh, yes, yes, brother. Peace, peace, brother Shaka. Peace to you, brother Ankh, as well. I don't know if you remember,
Peace,
brother
bro.
Ankh, but yeah, I had met you at the Malcolm X Festival in 2019. You was um under the tent selling your shoes with brother Sutek, and I came over and hollered at you. I was the brother with the all black, and I had the Ankh on and the RBG flag.
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember you, brother. How you doing,
Yeah,
brother?
yeah. Oh man, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, peace. Yeah, and just want to say love what you're doing. But yeah, but to touch on what the brother good God Allah said about, you know, the straight hair and the kinky hair thing. Well, first of all, it doesn't surprise me that this false teachings is being taught by the Nation of Islam. Okay, because we know, I know, and many others know that the Bible and the Quran is known for reversing history. Okay, it's known for reversing the truth. Okay, so no wonder why these teachings are being taught. Okay, and we know the truth is, okay, straight hair, kinky hair does not derive from straight hair. It was the other way around. Okay, because if you put an S curl on your head or any type of relaxer, we clearly see that their relaxer turns woolly hair into straight hair. But there's no relaxer or any kind of chemical that can turn straight hair into woolly hair. So we already know that makes no sense. And that's and
There are chemicals, brother. They used to do it in the 70s in England. White people used to get their hair straightened, but because the devil found out that it hurt their hair, he stopped. He took it off the market.
yeah, but that goes to show you that straight hair derives from kinky hair. It was not the other way around. Okay, so this ideal that some straight hair black people went into the jungles, it became kinky hair and all this and that is a flat out lie, and it goes against the truth.
You have genes that control your hair, your texture and color. It's a gene, man. It's not like straight hair comes from kinky hair. It's a gene. I'm just wanted to add that to the conversation.
But we gotta remember, more of the settling tribes, the Argean tribes, had more knowledge than the nomadic tribes. So for us to have had that knowledge, we must have traveled in the first place to know where to settle. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we were the Bantu people, right? I'd say we're mostly Bantus that came out, went through the slave trade, right? So I'm saying because of their knowledge of agriculture, the stars, and other things, they must have been a people that have been to various places to accumulate all of this information.
And brother, he kind of, well, the British accent to me, they kind of sounds the same because it's not my mother tongue. But weren't you a Hebrew at one point?
Never, bro. You
Never. Okay,
probably
it's not
got my
you.
name mixed. Yeah, my
No,
voice with
that's not the
somebody
name.
else.
It's just it's just the
No,
accent,
my
the
voice
British
with
accent.
somebody else's.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
what I'm saying.
Probably.
Probably from the same area.
Yes, yes, it's possible. Now, brother, stay on. We have Dark Matter. Dark Matter, feel free to speak.
Merci, mon frère. I want to say good evening to the rest of the panels. Uh, this is Nestle Mira, by the way, brother Shaka.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. The brother here, brother, good God Allah. So yeah, though you, bro, man, you all over the place, though. You all over the place, bro. But you were saying something earlier about we need a new book to start a new religion to waken up the God the God in us or the Christ or something like that. You were saying, dog. Like where are you going with this thing, dog? Because first of all, the African people themselves, we already reached the height of spirituality, bro. We already achieved that long thousands of years before all of this religions nonsense that you're running on with, bro. Like we already achieved that. Okay, so if you're gonna talk about anything spiritual, anything that is gonna be uplifting to awaken the African uh, uh, spirit and mind, you're gonna have to go back in Africa, bro, because all of that Allah nonsense and all of that Quran and all of that religious mumbo jumbo that you're spewing, all of that crap is none of that come from Africa, bro. All of that Arab nonsense. We're running on with European nonsense. We're running on with Arab nonsense. We're running on with everybody else's nonsense. But we hate to take our time and and go back into Africa and actually take our identity back and actually do what is true to us and do what is us. And it's crazy to me that you're promoting this belief system, and you would hate to actually go back into Africa and just do what we do best, man. We already achieved all of this stuff, man. Not ain't no outside religion is gonna be greater than what we got already. We already achieved all of this.
That's a good point, bro. That's a thorough point right there. I like that. We already did that. How you gonna get more? How you gonna
Yeah.
do better than that? Yeah.
Good point.
It don't get no better than the original, man, because all of these is probably is a copied of the original fabric, man. All that is the copied of it,
Can I
man. Spin off
can I
and recook and boiled and hand back over to you, man.
can
Go
I
ahead,
reply
man.
to that? Okay. I believe, my brother, that all of the knowledge in that all that information, all the knowledge in Islam, Christianity, all these, spiritual systems, I believe it all comes back to us. I believe the information, it came from us, black people. So when we got to remember that Arabia before colonization by the Romans at that time, it was a colony of Ethiopia, so we got to remember that they were in they so I'm saying that the teachings from Islam came from Egyptian. It came from Africa, Egypt. Just the way that if you look at the mystery school systems, writings, you get Mali Piho, and then you look at just the way that it's phrased, the parables. I believe that system of writing that you have in the Quran and the Bible, just the way it will say, the verses and stuff like that, and the parable, the mysticism between the scriptures and the verses, I believe that come from that system of writing and expression or expressing ideas and stuff that came from the Egyptian mystery school system. That's what I believe.
You know about the carbon base. There's two things I want to touch on real quick. You're saying that Arabia was a Ethiopian colony. Wesley Mohammed has said that, and he quoted Sheikh Anta Diop. And because a place is a colony of Ethiopia doesn't make the inhabitants of that place black people.
We know they got
Just
mixed.
Well, you can claim that, but you have Hispaniola or Haiti in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic was a colony of Spain, and Haiti was a colony of France. But it doesn't make the Haitians French people or white people. So the fact that Arabia at one point was a colony of Ethiopia doesn't make the inhabitants of Arabia black. You see? But the
But
second
not
Well,
thing,
only that,
well,
go ahead, go
well
ahead.
according to Sheikh oh, sorry. Go on, brother.
yeah. So and I'll add on to that as well because as you can clearly see too, as an example, though those places were colonized by those people, especially Haiti, for example, that were colonized by France, and we doesn't hold anything of France really, other than probably language and probably the school system somewhat. Who doesn't really speak French there too much. We blended it with what we created now. But when you're saying Ethiopia colonized, uh, what's that? Arabia or whatever.
Arabia,
So
yes.
now, yeah. So now, what you're saying is that um, um, Islam must have come from the Ethiopians to go to the Arabians. But then, how do we connect that? Because I think Ethiopia is what's called the unorthodox Christians or something like that. That they have a belief system that is completely different from that of Islam. So there's no real tie there. I'm not saying that people there you doesn't have Muslim there, but probably afterwards, with the Muslim conquest and all of that. So it doesn't connect just because it
Well,
was it was colonized by Ethiopia.
no, well, I was just saying that they were under black rule and blacks was going, there freely. They were dealing with nothing but trade together. And when Prophet Muhammad, when they kicked him out of Mecca, um, and Medina, he seeked exile in Abyssinia, and he said that those people are righteous, So
Are
that
you
would
sure he
be
went, brother, or his companions went?
no, he went with his companions. He stayed there.
You sure he went?
Yeah.
And
Or maybe let me
Um,
go and check because you're
mm,
doubting me, and I feel like I know that you're
mm,
well Scott. Maybe if I made a mistake, I'm sure that he did go there. I'm sure that he
mm.
did go there. But if I'm
Well,
wrong,
I might
I
be wrong. I
hold
might
my
be
hands
wrong.
up.
I might be wrong, but I think his
I hold my
companions
hands
went.
up.
He didn't go himself, according to that literature. But um, regarding one thing that you said earlier, you said that you feel like Islam. I'm paraphrasing what you said, but you said something to the effect that Islam came from Kemet, right? You said something like that, didn't you?
I mean, just the writing structure. Then we got to look at. I
But but
mean,
but,
they
but,
borrowed
but
a
hold,
lot
hold,
from
hold, hold on,
Egypt.
hold on,
I mean to say.
hold on. Now, so if you're talking about the writing, if you're talking about the script, some people can see some resemblance between the hieratic demotic and the Arabic script. But we're just talking about something that looks similar, you see? But
I would say it was inspired. Definitely, the way it was written, the expression in it was definitely Egyptian.
you,
It's
you see, you see,
expression in their writings. Go on, bro.
you see, I understand where you're getting at, and it is true that when one looks at the hieratic, the we can think of Arabic, but this is just a script. The language is not the same. We're using the now. I usually forget if it's Roman or Latin script, but we're using that script, that A B C D, the alphabet script, to write many different languages. You can write the Swahili with it. You can write the French, the English, the Italian with it. So the script is the same, but the languages are not the same. So it's not enough to claim that Islam would derive from Kemet just because of a script. And as a matter of fact, when it comes to the hieratic and the Arabic, the script is not even the same. It
But
looks similar in appearance, but it's not the same.
well, our. I mean, I'm not saying it's the same, brother. I'm saying
Mm.
that we got to remember that at that time um Arabia was going through a dark age after the invasions and stuff like that. From the Gutians also, and what's his name? What's his name? Sheikh Anta Diop said that they got mixed, yeah, by these whites. That's it. People that I can't find no data on, but they're called the Secludis or something like that. That he says that Arabia got mixed with, according to him. But some Indo-European tribe. But what I'm gonna say, yeah, we gotta remember that Islam
Objectionize.
definitely we got to acknowledge the appreciation of Islam for the Egyptian information and knowledge, because we got to remember that the European, he closed down, Justinian, and other people, from the fourth century they've been shutting down the information that came out of Egypt, because the
But, but,
elites. Go on.
but brother, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you mentioned that we have to recognize the appreciation
Yeah.
of the
From
Arabs, the appreciation for the Egyptians or for
Islam,
Kemet.
I would say Islam. I would say
Well, it's
Islam
okay,
because it
okay,
was the Moors,
okay.
innit? If you
So,
wouldn't
so,
go
so, so you're
Yeah.
saying we should appreciate the appreciation of Islam towards Kemet?
for
Is that what you're saying, right?
oh yeah, absolutely, and their
Okay,
information,
okay, and
because remember they're the
but
ones
but
who dug it out.
okay, but
Yeah.
you see, it's very. Please, Radio One,
They
just for a moment,
reintroduced
please,
it.
brother Radio One. What you're saying is quite surprising to me because in Islam, particularly in the Quran, Egypt is never portrayed positively, and probably one of the worst individual after the devil, that's Pharaoh, Fir'an.
Right.
So for you to say that there's some appreciation towards Kemet, um, that's not what the data allows us to say.
Well, I believe that the pharaonic dynasties of Egypt were wicked. So I
Why?
agree with them on
Why?
that. But the
Why?
information, the science,
But
and
what?
that, there was nothing wrong with that.
Okay, okay. But I'm curious. Why do you believe that Egypt was wicked?
I believe that slavery is the downfall of the planet and of the black man. And I believe that, yeah, and from my historical, from my research, Egypt did practice slavery.
And what research is that? What's the record? What's the data for that?
From 1500 BC, we can find from all three forms of slavery come out of Egypt. Chattel.
All your
I
cookies
think
done
it was
finished because of
Laban.
me. Don't play with me, Zyme. Move, man.
um, we
But
got we
so,
got
so,
we
so
got we got bond slavery.
Mhm.
I would have to let me look on Wikipedia because I'm gonna type on Wikipedia.
Well, okay, I'll let you look on Wikipedia, but it appears that you believe in the accounts of slavery from the Quran and the Bible. So
Yeah,
it appears that you believe that the Egyptians enslaved the Hebrews, the people of the book.
I don't believe. I don't know about them. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what that's what the Quran teaches. Do you believe in the Quran?
yeah, but I mean, like I said, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, in it, yeah. I mean, but no, it wasn't slavery. Like it wasn't chattel slavery.
But
You see what I'm saying? That was,
a few
every
seconds ago, that's
society
what
in
you said.
Africa. Yeah, yeah, but no, I
A few
believe
seconds
that it's
ago,
the
you said.
downfall. Yeah, the reason why I say it's the downfall. Yeah, but all right, I'm just saying, yeah, yeah, they did slave them. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying that I understand that that's how they ran their society. I believe that. All right, slavery start when you start dealing with slavery, you start dealing with elites, upper class, and you start classing people. I believe once we start getting to classism in the world, then that's been the downfall of us. I feel like classism, and we still do it today, even on on all social levels. We do it to
But but
ourselves as
but
black
but
people.
but
Still, go on.
but you see, brother, there's this comment that I put on the screen from Sun Temple. He wrote, because white Europeans and the Arabs told him they were wicked, so he believed everything they tell him. Do you feel that is correct, or do you feel that is not correct about this statement there?
But say that again, brother.
Because this brother called Sun Temple, he's saying that you believe that the Egyptians were wicked just because the Europeans and the Arabs told you so.
No, I don't believe. Based upon the, from even historical data, innit? From you
Okay.
practicing slavery,
Okay.
it's
So
wicked.
so did they enslave the Hebrews
Did they enslave the Hebrews? I mean,
just
yeah.
like the
I mean, yeah, yeah.
just
They
like the
were
Quran and the
slaves to
Bible
them.
says?
Yeah,
Okay.
but what
And
you gotta
and
understand, the Hebrews had to. But it wasn't like chattel slavery. That's all I'm saying. It
okay.
weren't
Okay.
chattel slavery.
Let's presume it wasn't chattel slavery. So do you believe in the Exodus account that Moses led his people out of Egypt and they moved to Canaan? Do you believe that?
Yeah,
What is the historical data for that?
yeah. I knew you were gonna do that to me. Yeah. All right. Look, Moses. Yeah, for Moses.
You know
Yeah.
me well.
I did. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to go there. I'm gonna let me look up something and let me find you. Obviously, it's not gonna say Moses in it. So obviously, let me just go on because I have got some information for that still. So I'm gonna
But
find it now.
okay.
I'm not
Well,
running. I'm gonna
no,
give
no,
me
it's okay
yeah.
because
I'm gonna look
I don't
for it.
expect you to look at it now and speak on it now. You kind of need some time in order to do some research. But you said something very interesting. You said obviously he will not say Moses. What doesn't that speak volume?
Uh,
In historical record, yeah, because it's English. It's in a different.
Oh,
You know what
okay,
I mean?
okay, well, okay. I did not understand. I thought you meant he will not say Moses because we won't find any mention of Moses. I didn't know that you meant the English pronunciation. Now, it's fine if it's
Okay.
Moshe or if it's Musa, but we're still talking about the same individual, you see.
There's a
But
name. There's a name for it because Manetho says. Yeah, Manetho says that the name for this guy, the Moses, right, is Osar Seth. Osar Seth.
okay,
Says the
well,
story of him.
yeah. Go ahead, brother. Radio one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to touch on that as well. Yeah, I mean this belief that that Islam was influenced by the Egyptians. No, that's not gonna work, brother, because yeah, first of all, okay, we know that there is no record of the ancient Egyptians worshiping the god Allah, and we know that when the Islamic Arabs invaded Africa, we know that they were not saying praise be to Amun Ra. You know, they were not worshiping Amun Ra. Okay, so that belief, yeah, you need to
I'm
keep that.
standing on Osasef, my
Yes,
brother,
yes,
according to
yes,
from for our Egyptian brother Manetho.
yes,
Osasef
yes,
brothers
yes,
deal with that one.
yes. You need to keep that within its own category. Now, when it comes to the Bible, I discussed this with Shaka once before, that the Bible reverses history. Okay, we find out in history the Egyptians saying that it was the Hebrews or the shepherds or the Hyksos or the people who are the Israelites in the Bible that enslaved them. Okay, but the Bible is saying it was the other way around. But in history, we see that the Egyptians saying no, these people came into our land and enslaved us, and we kicked them out. But the Bible changed the story around, and even gave the name, who was the name Moses, which was supposed to, yeah, which was supposed to be applied to the Pharaoh, but instead it was applied to the Asiatic enemy that was kicked out. You know, so like I was saying, that the Bible reverses history. Okay, and and I hate to give it any kind of credit. You know, when people say, well, the Solomon story is actually referring to Amenhotep. David's story is actually referring to Tutmosis. No, it is a lie. Okay, because if it was actually referring to those pharaohs, then the Bible should have wrote that instead of putting Solomon and David. It should have said, you know, it should have applied the stories to Pharaoh Tutmosis.
Yeah,
You
but
know, but
brother, Manito said it was a Sarsef body bag because we don't get no Egyptian history if it ain't for brother Manito. So it's done. Manito said it was a Sarsef, and
Okay,
he collaborated that story. So it's all done. It's all over.
okay,
Stop
okay. So,
typing a
brother,
Sarsef.
let me ask you a question. What is the time period for Manito?
First century AD.
Okay, so he will write now. Moses, if he existed, the time period will be around 1500 BC. So we have one guy who writes 1500 years later and says that Moses was Oser Apis. That's not archaeology. I mean, that's not near contemporaneous. But Moses was way more important than Manetho. So, do we have any records for Moses?
I'm standing on brother Manito, brothers.
Well, you have the right to. That's fine. But when we deal with history and archaeology, we cannot really we cannot really go from someone's account. It's like, let's say we're in the year of the Gregorian calendar year, 2021. So it's like me saying, well, in the year 500, this is what happened in Egypt or in Arabia. 1500 years after the fact. Don't we have people who live closer to that time period who wrote about it?
But
Do
don't
we
you?
have any? Okay, let me put it this way.
Do you
Do we
accept
have?
any information from Manito?
I
yeah,
could, but we're talking about a very important
So
individual.
then I'm standing on Manito, bro. If
Okay,
Manito
okay,
said that,
okay. Well,
Moses was
okay,
alive and he
okay,
existed, then I'm standing on my brother Manito. You
okay.
stand
All
on
right.
some of
Okay,
his
okay,
yeah,
you stand on
okay,
his
okay, okay,
information
okay.
as well.
But then again, you see, I'm going to join Radio One's route. Let's presume that we should take Manito's word, or let's say we want to take Manito's words for face value. Radio One just told you, and you can double check that Manito explained that some people came to Egypt, to ancient Egypt or Kemet, and they actually did some very vile things. You see, they enslaved people. So this narrative is very different from the one that you believe in, which we can find in the Quran and in the Bible. So how do you reconcile the two? Since you want to take Menito's
Okay.
words for face value, that goes against your Quranic teaching.
Okay,
Got him.
well, at the end of the day, brothers, like I'm standing on, like, I believe that, I'm standing on Manetho and the Bible and that, and the Bible as well, I'm just
But
standing
but
I'm
but,
standing
but
on Manetho. Standing
do
on
you
Manetho.
understand that Manito's account is in direct contradiction with the Bible's account
And what
and the
what pa-
accounts of the Sunnah?
what aspect of it?
Well, just like Brother Radio One just explained to you, Manito
Well, I'm in
explained
confliction then. I'm in a bit of confliction about their two accounts, but
it's
you
not
know,
a
I
bit. We have the Bible and the Sunnah
well, I
that
believe
tells us
that
that.
he wasn't as descriptive though. That's the thing. Like, the Bible is way more descriptive about Moses. He wasn't trying to be over descriptive about
Okay,
Moses.
but brother, were you aware that Manito says, or Manito wrote that some people came and enslaved the Egyptians? Were you aware of that?
Yeah, well, yes, of course.
Are you
Yes, of
sure,
course.
brother? I mean,
Yes, of
it's
course,
fine
of
to
course.
say if you
I
didn't know.
understand that Egypt got invaded. I understand that.
Okay, now, the Bible and the Sunnah teaches
Hmm.
that the Egyptians enslaved other people.
Okay.
It's totally the opposite.
I can't. I believe that the Bible has been tampered with, most definitely. You'd have to remind me, if you're saying what's true about the Bible, the Quran conflicting me, or you have to show. If you show me it, it'd be easy. But I'll take your word for it, because obviously I don't know. I'm not a hard drive, and I read other books
But
outside of the Quran and the Hadith.
hold on,
So
brother. Hold on, brother. I'm a bit curious about something.
yeah,
Uh, like a minute ago, you said that you are aware that Manetho
yeah.
wrote that the Egyptians were enslaved. Not that they enslaved other people, but that they were enslaved by other people. Now, do you
You know
still
what?
maintain that?
I must know. I might have rushed. I might have not caught that you said that to me, bro.
Oh, okay,
All I'm
yeah,
s-
okay.
I'm just standing
Well,
on the fact that no, no. I'm just standing on the fact that Manito said that Moses did exist and his name was Asar Seth. That's all I'm standing on. I didn't
okay,
the
okay.
connection and all that.
I,
I
I,
didn't. You know what I mean? You see what I'm
I
saying?
hear
So you're
you.
breaking it down now.
I hear you.
But
I
do you
hear you. But
believe that Moses existed? Because, like, you
absolutely
accept the
not. I don't.
information from
I, I,
Manito though. So you say
I absolutely.
Manito was a liar.
I absolutely don't believe that Moses existed because I haven't seen any data, any record for Moses during his lifetime.
That
And
means you don't
it's
trust Manito. I
well,
trust Manito.
Manito talked about Oserapis or Oserapep. He didn't talk about Moses. Now, I'm not familiar with him saying that Moses was Oserapep, but mind you, and I haven't read all Manito. I've read just some experts. I actually read more people quoting Manito than Manito himself, but he's not talking about the same person. He's not talking about the same person. If he said that, I mean, Oserapis, that I know another language. Apep is a deity, or deity. I'm sorry, a deity. Apep is like a evil entity or individual. Now, the Greeks call it Apophis. Our ancestors call it Apep. And we have a combination of two words. Now, Oser, that would be Usir or Osiris. So, um,
I don't think
and
that
this,
we can fight over words with Manito then, because remember, it's a totally different time. So
well,
it's too,
it's
I think you're
1500
being too
years.
critical on a man, a historian from that
Well,
time that
well,
did bring
well,
you information
but brother,
today.
you know what's interesting is that you believe in the Quran. You probably believe in the Bible as well, but you're relying on some tale from a person that is not um, Christian, that is not Muslim, and that writes 1500 years, 1500 years after the fact. And I find it very strange. Now, are you aware of any record for Moses during his lifetime?
Well, brother, I can learn from anybody.
No, but
When it comes to Egypt, yeah,
I'm just, and
I
you're
would
right.
rather
I
come
agree.
to you. I would
I,
rather come to if I'm really interested in learning about ancient Egypt, and I would rather deal with you than go to someone who's Muslim. You see what I'm saying?
but the things that you can learn from everybody, indeed, that's correct. But do you know? Can you name or do you know any record, any data that mentions Moses during his lifetime?
Well, I mean, I'm just standing on Manetho, bro. I think that's a
Okay,
strong.
okay, all
I
right,
think
okay.
that's a strong enough
I think
scholar,
we're
brother.
not. I
I
think we're
think
Bruh,
not
he's
going
too
anywhere
bruh,
strong.
because.
Maneto's too strong, Mama
bruh.
Shaka.
Okay, all right. Okay, I heard you. I heard you. Now somebody else wanted to speak. Feel free. I heard somebody wanted to speak.
Yes, brother.
That oh
Shaka, can I share my screen right quick?
Yes, of course, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, because when he speaks on Manetho, okay, we're gonna go to the source. Manetho says, all right, all right. Now let's see here. Okay, all right. Can you see that, brother?
Yes, brother.
Yes, this is from the writings of Manetho. Now, this is his account on the the Hyksos story, and we have to keep in mind that Manetho's works also is being quoted from Josephus Flavius. So, and Josephus is a Jewish historian. So that's why you're going to see some, some interpolations and some strange, activity going on. But yeah, this is what it says. Okay, Manetho. Okay, he speaks on Manetho being quoted from Josephus. Now it says here, this is coming from Manetho. Tumaeus in his reign, for what cause I know not, a blast of God smote us, and unexpectedly from the regions of the east, invaders of obscure race marched in confidence of victory against our land. By main force, they easily seized it without striking a blow, and having overpowered the rulers of the land, they they then bury our cities ruthlessly, razed to the ground the temples of the gods, and treated all the natives with a cruel hostility, massacring some and leading into slavery the wives and children of others. Okay, and then so this here is saying that the Egyptians, okay, Manetho, which is who Manetho, who is an Egyptian, okay, Manetho is an Egyptian, and he's writing about this, and he's saying that these people came into Africa and burned down their temples, okay, razed their temples, and killed some of them, killed some Egyptians, and also enslaved Egyptians, and it's saying here, okay, and we go down a little further. Okay, it says here, yeah, said according to Manetho, I'm gonna highlight it. Okay, right here. Okay, that area says according to Manetho, for 511 years thereafter, he says there came a revolt of the kings of the Thebaid and the rest of Egypt against the shepherds, and a fierce and prolonged war broke out between them by a king whose name was Misra Mukdosis. The shepherds, he says, were defeated, driven out of all the rest of Egypt, and confined in a region measuring within the circumference of 10,000, or by the name of Avaris. Okay, it says according to Manetho, the shepherds enclosed this whole area with a high, strong wall in order to safeguard all their possessions. And it says here, through Moses, the son of Misra Mukdosis, attempted to force them to surrender, attempted by siege to force them to surrender, blockading the forces when the army of 480,000 men. Finally, giving up the siege in despair, he concluded by a treaty by which they should all depart from Egypt and go unmolested where they please. Now, we see here that Manetho mentions a pharaoh named Thutmose, okay, and he's saying that Thutmose was the one who expelled the Hyksos out of Egypt, and historically this was Ahmoses. So it goes to show that the first kings with the name Moses or Moses, what yeah, the name Moses was mentioned by Manetho, I mean, was applied to the pharaohs mentioned by Manetho,
Huh?
and and
What,
Yeah, I'm
bro?
going
What
to
you
end it
say,
there.
King?
I'm not
All
going.
you're doing, brother radio, is proving my point. Moses
Nah,
existed.
nah, no
Yeah,
no Moses. No, let's stop.
yeah. But yeah. What I'm saying here, the real Moses was
No.
the
We're
the,
not
the
gonna do
name
that.
the name
We're not gonna
the
do that.
name Moses was applied to the Pharaoh, and
No.
like I said, no, brother. Now
No,
let
I'm
me
just
finish.
trying to
Okay,
say you don't.
okay.
That's
Now
not. That's not. That's
no,
not.
no, 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 no. What I'm saying now, we know historically there were pharaohs with the name Moses, Moses,
No, no,
Tutmosis.
no, 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 no,
Okay,
no, no, no,
brother,
no,
brother, listen what I'm saying. Okay, hey, brother,
no, no,
I'm
no,
trying to
no,
get
no, no,
somewhere
no.
now.
You giving the
Now,
Bible credence, yo.
And remember,
no,
brother
no,
Shocker.
No
Hey, brother
Moses, bro.
Shocker.
no,
Don't forget
brother.
that Leo
Let me
Africanus
finish.
said that the Arabs were
Let me
black,
finish.
No,
brother.
no,
Let
no
me finish.
Moses, bro.
Don't
Okay, let me
forget that.
finish. Okay.
Salute to
Now
brother
let
Kadar.
no. Hold on. Okay. Now the point I'm trying to make is okay. The story was plagiarized by Josephus. So therefore, and it's even telling you, admitting that the person you mentioned, our son self name was changed into Moses. So it is admitting that the person of this story, his name was changed into Moses. But we see that the real Moses, the historical Moses,
Man,
was the
there's no
Pharaoh.
Moses. No, I keep
Hey,
saying
brother radio, all that
you can't
shows
keep
me is that
saying
Manito
Moses,
knew
yo.
who he was talking about, brother. All
No,
that
no, no,
shows
Man,
no,
me
no,
is that Manito
Uh,
knew who he was talking
no.
about.
actually,
The
actually,
prophet
actually,
Moses.
Brother. What
actually,
I'm trying to say is, no. What
it's
I'm
not
trying to
it's
say
not the
is,
same.
it is the same story being told. Okay,
Mm.
we see here the first version is more accurate, and we can find it in Egyptian records. But it
But
seems here that Josephus, he added interpolations, to try to retell the story, and that's how the name Moses got the real Moses, the historical Moses became the fictional biblical Moses. That's the point I'm trying to make.
yeah, you're
Okay,
not making that point though, yo. Cause ain't no.
but
Come on, yo.
ready
Hey,
ready
I'm
one.
standing on Manito, brother radio.
Yes.
Y'all
no,
crazy,
no, no,
man.
no,
Manito
no.
knew
But
what
what
he
I'm
was
saying
talking
is,
about, brother radio.
well, what I'm
Okay.
saying is the confusion starts here. The
Mm.
confusion
But
starts with
It ain't in the
Manito
meta
and the
Yeah, but
narrative.
Josephus.
Manito cleared it up though, brother radio. Manito cleared it up.
okay, now I just would like to say this briefly. Um, the issue is when you say the real Moses but the radio one, because that Moses is like it's Jehuti mess.
Yep.
So born of Jehuti, that could be one of the translation. The Greeks, whenever we had mess or mesu, like Ramesu, we say Rameses. Yes, Rameses actually in English. This is Ramesu. That's the same root, mess, born of. So the Greeks, they call that, they pronounce that with the osis in the ending. Sorry, just like with Amenhotep, they call it Amenophis. So the Moses of the Bible, that derives from the Hebrew or Canaanite, whatever language they had in Canaan, Moshe. You see, so it's not the same.
No, brother.
And
I think that you're just trying to explain it away. Manito knew what he was talking about. Are you saying that Manito didn't have control over what he was saying? He
okay,
said Moses, brother. He
all right,
connected it.
okay. Now, brother Carbon Base, are you saying that Moses was Tutmosis?
No, Manito says it's Asar Seth, and I'm rocking. I'm going with that. I don't. I'm just kind of
No,
Well,
sticking with
well,
brother.
Manito.
But
let,
what I'm trying to say is, okay, now I find it suspect how the first part of Manetho's story, okay, the pharaohs of Egypt are called Moses, to Moses, and given all these Moses names. But in the second part, when he mentions the other story about the biblical Moses, okay, uh, his name is changed into Moses. Now I find that suspect because we have to
You
keep in
just
mind.
explained it, brother
No,
radio.
you have
Manito
to keep in mind.
connected it. Manito knew. Are you trying to say Manito didn't know what he was talking about, brother? You
You have to
gotta
keep
do
in
that
mind.
scholastically, brother. You gotta show me that he was mentally confused scholastically. You can't
But
just make a argument. Show me some scholars that verify, that can that can give you something to battle that. What Maneto's saying that he's a
Bro,
liar.
brother Carbon Base, I don't know if you really heard what Radio 1 read, but he actually read the account of Manetho, talking about shepherds coming in enslaving people. You see? So
But
that does not add up at all with the
Manito
narrative.
said, but Manito said that Osar's name changed to Moses. That's what
Well,
Manito said. Well, are we saying that
okay,
Moses?
okay. Well, I would like to see that quote, but even if Manetho said that,
Type it in on,
once
on Wikipedia, brother, and
no,
it says it
I'll
up
let
there.
you I'll let you do that, brother. I'll
Okay,
let you
I'll do
do
it
that.
then, brother.
But the thing is that, if, and I'm tempted to ask you once again, can you name any record that mentions Moses during his lifetime?
Well, brother, I'm gonna start. Look, Manito is a
But
historian.
brother,
He's a
hold
historian.
on, brother. I'm asking
He
you.
collected. We wouldn't have a
Hold
kick
on,
on, brother.
hold on. Manetho, that's 1500 years after the lifetime of Moses. What I'm asking you is, can you name, or do you know, or have you heard of any record whatsoever that mentions Moses during his lifetime?
Brother, I don't think that you're being fair, brother, because we got to
Hold,
remember there's no
brother,
Egyptian
brother.
kings list without Manito, brother. So that means we got
No,
to.
no, no, you're
If we're
wrong,
gonna throw away
hold on,
this, there's no kings
brother.
list.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but no, you're wrong. There are other king lists. There are other king lists, and I have a video that talks about a king list that's more reliable than Manito, and I'm looking for it right now as I speak. And you see,
Okay.
this is a problem. Sometimes we feel like it's like the Rosetta Stone. People feel like this is the only text where we have some Greek and some Medu Neter. But I'm looking for it right now, and I hope it will still be there.
Pull it up, brother, so I could
Okay, there
teach
it
you
is,
today,
and
brother.
I'm going to share, and the video is called Manetho less reliable than the Turin Papyrus, and so I'm going to go in order. First, I will share the link, and because the video is only 2 minutes long, then I will quote, so everybody can hear it. But I
I
will
think
actually play the video. So hold on,
I think what you're doing is that I think what you're
just
doing that could be a detriment to Egyptian scholarship, brother. Because if he's wrong with this, what else is
we'll
he
see.
wrong with, brother? What else is he wrong with? And we
Well,
know that could change the whole outlook
hold
of
on.
how you see Africa, brother.
Let's do it in order. Yes. Hold on, please, put the radio on. So
hey, my man.
I've shared the link. Okay. Manito less reliable than the Turin Papyrus, and now I'm going to share the video. And please, brothers, if you're not speaking and if you have some background noise, please make sure to mute your mic. So now I'm about to share the video. It's only 2 minutes long, so let's do this and let's listen up. Oh, my bad. There was no sound.
Britannica 2012. Greetings. We are going to deal with the Turin Papyrus, which is actually more reliable than Manetho. I'm going to read both entries from Britannica 2012. So for the Turin Papyrus, it says, also called Turin Papyrus of Kings or Turin Canaan, hieratic manuscript of the 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt, listing the kings of Egypt from earliest times to the reign of Ramesses II, under whom it was written. Although the papyrus, now in the Egyptian Museum in Turin, Italy, is in very fragmentary condition, it is still considered one of the most detailed and reliable of the existing Egyptian king lists. It lists not only names, but also regnal years, months, and days, and also divides pharaonic history into the dynasties by which ancient Egyptian history is still organized. Manetho's history was derived from a source like the Turin Papyrus, but because of its later compilation is in some respect less reliable. Now I'm reading the entry for Manetho on Britannica 2012. Egyptian priest who wrote a history of Egypt in Greek, probably commissioned by Ptolemy II Philadelphus. Manetho's history has not survived except from some except for some fragments. Now, I've skipped a little bit in order to fit everything on the screen. He goes on to say, these fragments have been of much service to scholars in determining the succession of kings where the archaeological evidence was inconclusive, and Manetho's division of the rulers of ancient Egypt into 30 dynasties is still used as the basic framework for ancient Egyptian history. Thanks for watching. Hotep.
Okay, so
That was
brother,
that was a good one,
Faith,
brother.
yes, and I did not make it up. It doesn't come from me. It comes from Britannica 2012. So you see, brother, we can get some clarity, but you've heard it's more reliable. The Turin papyrus is more reliable than Manetho.
Let me
But
tell
go
you
ahead,
why
brother.
I
Faith.
believe that. I was gonna come on rebuttal. I believe that Manito's one's the better one because his one dates back 30,000 years, brother. So
I'm sorry,
he knows what his dates go back 30,000 years, brother. So you know what I
thirty
mean?
thousand years,
Yeah, yeah.
30,000,
The, he, Kingsless.
30. Okay, okay, all right. You believe a lot of things, but believing is not knowing. You see. So when I ask you if you can name any records for Moses during his lifetime, you don't want to answer, and that's fine.
I already no,
But
brother. I already said a Seth, brother. I already said
no,
Manito.
no, no,
That
no.
those,
I'm asking about Moses during his life, during his lifetime. So Moses, if he existed, he lived around 1500 BC.
but you gotta understand, yeah.
No, no, but
When
hold on,
when when
brother.
Manito was
Let,
talking,
let,
all right,
let me
go.
let me ask you. Let me ask you. Do you know? Have you ever heard, or can you name a record that mentions Moses during the lifetime of Moses?
Brother, we've got all. I'm gonna stand on Manito, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, let me make you understand the, the
Okay. Okay.
psychology of Manito at that time.
Let's try it this way. Let's try it this way. I'm asking you to answer by yes or no. If you don't want to answer, say I don't want to answer because I'm not forcing you. Can you name a record that mentions Moses during his lifetime?
Well, like I said, the name changed. We would have to look for things with a Seth. Now we have to
Brother,
understand the mentality of
brother,
Manito at
brother,
that time, brother.
I'm giving you two, three choices. You can say yes, you can say
Yes,
no, you can say I don't want to answer. Can you
at
name
that time.
document?
I'm gonna
Can you,
no, no, I can't see nothing, but I'm gonna stand on Manito. I understand that he's after,
okay, all
but
right, okay,
Manito talked about it. Manito knows what he.
okay,
Yeah,
I'm
okay, all right,
standing on him. I'm standing on the
okay,
yeah,
shoulders of
okay,
Manito.
brother
okay. Go
Sharp.
ahead,
Yeah, yeah.
brother Radio One. Go ahead,
I
brother
want to
Radio
touch on
One.
something. Okay, now, here's the trick. Okay, here's the trick. Okay, now I was trying to explain it to brother Aunt, but yeah, but here's the trick. Okay, here's what I believe. Okay, I believe that the first part of Manito, because we have to keep in mind. Okay, Manito, the original works of Manito, you know, are not known, but it's Manito coming from Josephus. Now here's the trick. I believe that the historically accurate version of the story is the first part I just mentioned about the Hyksos invasion, about the pharaohs being named Tutmosis,
I agree with you,
kicking
Radio.
out,
I
yeah,
agree with you.
yeah, kicking out the shepherds. I believe the second part of the story is a plagiarized version that was plagiarized by Josephus, and that is the biblical version of the story. Okay, because first of all, you have to ask.
I
You,
agree
you
with
have,
that. I
yes,
agree with that.
you have to ask the question: why isn't you know to Moses and all these pharaohs that kicked out the Hyksos and the Shepherd Kings? Why are they not mentioned in the Bible? Okay, but this other story of Moses, the biblical story, the second version of the story is the part that's mentioned in the Bible, but the pharaohs are unnamed. Okay, the pharaohs are unnamed, and at the same time, the name that's supposed to apply to these pharaohs is given to this Moses. But but the pharaoh that's kicking them out, he's unnamed, he's unknown. But the name, okay, that's supposed to apply to these kings of Egypt is being given to Moses, the enemy of Pharaoh in the Bible. So that's why I say the story is suspect. It's
No
like it's
Moses, man. No Moses, man. No Moses.
And you know, brother Carbon Base. I want
Go on,
to
brother.
continue with what Radio One said. You told us that you believe in the Quran,
Ah,
so
go on, brother.
you believe in the word of Allah. However, you kept saying that you go by Manetho. So when we hear you, it seems that Manetho is more reliable than Allah.
The man's
Why
a
is it so?
historian, brother.
Okay,
The
yeah, but
man's a.
Allah is
I'm
yeah,
gonna
but
go
Allah
if I want
yes.
to learn about history. I'm gonna
Cheer,
go to a
cheer,
historian.
cheer,
Sorry,
brother,
brother. Sorry,
brother,
brother.
brother. It's okay, no problem at all. He's an historian, but Allah is God. Isn't God supposed to know better than a historian? Because in the Quran, which is, I believe you consider the Quran to be the word of Allah. In the Quran, it says Musa. That's the Arabic for, of course, Moses. So Manito got the name right, but Allah didn't get the name right.
We gotta remember it's a different language, brother. Like Arabic's a different language. You know, different areas in the world have different dialects and ways to express themselves. So that's just natural, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like the word for remember the word for
Okay,
Allah, it
okay,
just means God
okay,
in Arabic. If
okay,
if
all right,
if the Arabic was
okay,
in English, people would be just
okay,
saying God.
all right, okay, okay.
Like like
So
remember that
in,
the Jews
hold on,
used to
okay,
praise to Allah
but
before that, you know.
brother,
So
you know, there's one thing though. You're trying something, and I admire you for trying to defend your stance in doing acrobatics. But Manito, Manito, that's way before the Quran. Do we agree on that?
what? Allah listen,
But
brother.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Do we agree that Manito is before the Quran? Do we agree on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely
Okay, all right, okay,
100%.
okay, okay, all right. So even if the name is in Arabic, it was after Manito mentioned, forgot the, you said Oserapis. So
Hmm.
how can Manito get the name right, but Allah reveals the Quran to the world and he doesn't get the name right? How is it possible?
Brother, remember it was made by men. When we say that it was done by the hand of God or by the God, we meaning that God was fit. I understand this is how I see things. I believe in God in man and the devil in man.
Okay, I'm sorry,
If I have an accident, hold on,
brother.
hear what
Are you
I'm gonna have to
saying
give you a
the
eulogy, but I have
but
to give you some try to
but,
explain it.
but
I'm
you
trying
are
to
you
explain
saying that the Quran was made by a
it.
man? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but he was filled. He had God. The person who wrote it, yeah, had God consciousness.
Okay, so now
And let me explain God consciousness to you, brother.
so the Quran was not revealed by God through Gabriel to Muhammad because
Absolutely.
okay, all right. So the Quran, was it made by a man or not?
Yeah, but you gotta understand, they used to
Okay,
talk differently then. See, what a lot of people get messed up, right, is that we're dealing with a seventh century people. They had a different way of seeing the world. When we try to explain it, break it down in 2021 terms, it's gonna be crazy. Do you see what I'm saying? It's gonna
okay, all
come
right.
across great.
Okay,
So I'm
okay,
trying to
okay.
explain to you God consciousness, just a simple eulogy. It ain't gonna take long, brother. Maybe I'm a bit long-winded when I speak. If
Well,
I'm gonna explain God.
it's not really that you're long with it. It's just that you don't really address the points, but you're not under no obligation
I think I
to talk
am,
about a
brother.
particular.
I think I am.
Well,
I'm
well,
doing
well,
my
the,
best, brother. I
well,
understand
but
that
okay,
you brothers
but
are very strong with your and I know that you've been doing this for years, and I know that you're dang. I know. I don't believe I have more knowledge than you, brother. I
that's,
actually
I
came to
mean,
learn. I didn't really want to come and
there's
be battling
but
you,
there's
but
no,
you know what I
it's
mean.
not a battle. It's not a battle. You know, brother. There's always people who will know more than you. There's many people who know more than me. You see, I think the issue is not the knowledge, but your methodology.
Okay.
Um, because we have Manetho who writes an account and he talks about os, um, Oserapis.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is how could Allah reveal the Quran and he talks about someone called Musa. Why didn't he say Oserapis then?
What? Who? Why didn't who say that?
Well,
You in the
you
Quran?
you you
Yeah,
you
but
you you saying that you go by Manetho because he was an
right,
historian, but
right.
The Quran doesn't talk about Oserapis. The
But
Quran
it's
talks
just a
about
different.
Musa.
It's just a different language, brother. Like I said to you, the Jews before Islam, the Jews used to worship or used to say Allah in that region. The Jews and the
Okay,
Christians.
okay. Now
It
I
just
understand where you're
means
going now.
God in that
I
language. That's what I
I
mean.
I,
Yeah.
I understand where you're going now, but we're not talking about God. We're talking about Oserapis and Moses. In Arabic, Moses is Musa.
Right.
So, are you saying that Oserapis is the same name as Musa?
Well, I believe that he had it. Obviously, if he obviously when he went to Egypt, based upon the different dialects and changes, as you know, the Egyptians probably called him something different. You know, like when you go to different
Okay,
countries,
okay.
they
Hold
might
on, hold on, hold
say
on,
your
hold on,
name
brother, hold on,
differently.
brother. When who went to Egypt?
No, when Moses went to Egypt, right?
But hold on. The Quran, according to the Sunnah, it was revealed to Muhammad. You see. So what I'm trying to get at is actually I'm trying to show you that your methodology is a bit off. You know, and I'm trying to be very political with you. You
Right.
see, because if in the Quran we have the name Musa, but you're saying that you
I don't think
agree and
that's
you
fair
follow.
though what you're doing though, brother.
Why is it not fair then?
Because I believe that more information on Moses came about after he died, because we know that the Christians at that time were taking in and taking out of the scriptures. We know that we don't know. It could have fitted better with the
But
Bible
but
of
but
the
but but
time of
but, but,
Manetho, but
but
now we know that
you
the
see,
Bible's
brother,
been changed.
brother, you see, we don't need the Bible because you said you follow Manito because he's a good historian, he's a great historian, right? So we're dealing with the Manito's writing and the Quran. You see, how can the name be different?
I'm saying we gotta remember though,
How
brother.
can
The
Allah
reason
get the
why,
name wrong?
okay, no, this is why, brother, and you're not being fair. You believe that you know in 2021 more than Manito, and you're even gonna, yeah, you think that because based upon the time, you believe based upon there's more information around now, you
Okay,
feel, and more scholars going into the work, yeah, putting out books that you believe that you can get a better grasp, you have a better grasp on what Manito's saying all the way back then. Do you
well, brother,
understand that?
I
So
just read.
we can safely say that with the
Hold on,
story of
brother, brother,
Moses, why it changed. Go on,
brother.
brother.
Do you believe that Manito knows more than Allah?
No, no, no. When it came to
Okay,
the
okay.
I don't know. We know that the Bible's been
Hold
changed.
on.
So if there
Run
was,
that back. Hold on. Please run that back. Just like like in URL. Run that back. You say you don't know. You say you don't know.
I said I don't know
Now,
about what.
okay. Well, I'm asking the question again, so there's no misunderstanding.
I said, go on,
Do
bro.
you believe that Manito knows more than Allah?
Knows more than Allah. Of hell no, obviously no.
Okay, okay. Now, who's more accurate between Allah and Manito? Is Allah? Is it?
Yeah, but Manito's a historian. If no one ain't there to record the story of the
Well,
creator, then we won't know about the creator. We
you're
won't know about
basing
Allah if no
you're
one don't
basing
talk about it.
you're basing you're basing sorry you're basing your premise solely on Manetho, and I just read to you from Encyclopedia Britannica.
I
Then the
believe he's a
Turin,
credible scholar, brother. That's why.
but you know what's funny is that apparently you don't have any regards for the Turin Papyrus,
I,
even though Encyclopedia Britannica just told us that the Turin Papyrus is more reliable than Manetho.
and what did the Turian papyrus talk about Moses? Did they say that Moses never existed? Does that
So
say that?
you see, I'm very glad you said that. Apparently, the reason why you hold on so much to Manetho is because you feel like Manetho talks about Moses. So you want validation
And which one
of the
came
Abrahamic.
first, the Turian or the Manito? Which one came first?
Yeah.
Well, we can read that again. We can read that again.
Let's see the
Um,
dates. Let's
so we
let's
have
look at
yes,
both
yes.
the
It's
Taurian
a
versus
tricky
Manetho.
question.
The
So
Taurian papyrus versus Manetho. Let's do it.
okay,
Let's
well
see.
we're gonna do that now, just right now. So let's do this. This is the advert. Okay, now let's have a look. So I might as well just
We're
do
going
that.
to deal with the Turin Papyrus, which is actually more reliable than Manetho. I'm going to read both entries from Britannica 2012. So for the Turin Papyrus, it says, also called Turin Papyrus of Kings or Turin Canaan, Hieratic manuscript of the 19th dynasty of ancient Egypt, listing the kings of Egypt from earliest times to the reign of Ramesses II.
So can you hear me, brother?
I can hear you, brother.
All right. So it looks like it's a sad day for you because it says this manuscript of the 19th dynasty between 1200 and 1100 BC. Actually, 1292 to 1190 BC. So this is 1200 BC. This is more than 1000 BC. This is
Okay.
1000 years before Manetho.
Okay. Okay. So you're okay. You're going old school. Okay. But does this talk about the
Okay.
Moses?
So,
Okay.
but whether it talks about Moses or not, we have a document that
How
is in the.
descriptive is it? Go on, bro.
Okay, well, you know, if you want to dispute the validity of this document, it is in the Turin Museum. Turin is they call it Torino in Italian, but this is in Italy in a town called Turin,
Okay.
hence the name. And anybody can go and check for themselves. But the thing is that this is 1,000 years before Manetho. So not only it is more reliable according to Britannica, to Encyclopedia Britannica, but on top of that, it's 1,000 years before Manetho.
Mm.
You see?
I would love to go to France and you take me through the museums, brother. And if you ever come to the
Well,
UK, I would love to go with you to the British Museum or whatever museum that you want to go to. I drive, so I
well,
definitely would meet
well,
you. And anytime you're coming to the UK, and we
well,
can,
you know,
I would
brother,
love to accompany with you to the museums, whatever
and and I,
museum you want to go.
and I'm so glad, brother, you said that because this is what I used to do. I used to take people on trips. I used to do tours, and I used to do it every first Sunday of the month because it was free of charge.
Mm,
And I'm talking about the Louvre Museum in France.
mm,
And I would send text messages to most of my contacts. I would tell people about it. And the reason why I stopped doing that is because eventually one day there wasn't a single person that showed up. You see. But I love that you said you would like to go to the museum because you get to see the original artifacts. You just get to see the primary records, and this is, in my opinion, a very good way to get some clarity about ancient history. So if you know some people from England who like that to make it happen, then maybe we can make it happen. I love to do tours. I love to show the mother nature. So speak
I
to
mean,
the
if you
people
get
that you
other
know.
people, I mean, look, I ain't really got I don't know if the people I know would be that, but I'm just saying if you was coming into the UK, you wanted to, I don't mind taking you there, and you know what I mean, being with
Well,
you. Why? Because I think I'll get more of an insight on history and stuff like that just from being with you,
mm,
and
mm.
you know what I mean,
Well,
like that.
okay.
But if
Well,
anyone else want to join, then you know what I mean, if they want to, cause I don't
well,
really have a lot of people that would
I
be that
understand.
interested, like I am.
I understand. Well, my people in England, I've been there, I've lived there for a few years,
Mm,
and I lament the fact that I don't hear from my people from England anymore. I don't see much thing going on, but if you have some Kemetic people in England, holla at me, holla at your brother. If you have some non-Abrahamic believers in England, holla at me. If you have some Abrahamic believers who want to learn different things, and holla at me. Let's make this happen. Let's let's keep things in motion. We can make this happen if we have enough people. You see. So that being said, now we have Brother Hassan. So, Hotep Sen, feel free to speak, brother.
Hello. Want to say hi to everyone on the panel. I was just wondering, like, what evidence does Brother Good God, Allah have of the story of Exodus being factual, right? So like we're talking about Moses and people talking about his lives and whatnot. But like what evidence do you see for first of all a massive population of Jews to the tune of about 1 million in ancient Egypt and like whether the land would actually be able to support that many people? How they would keep that many Jewish people under their control because the
Mhm.
population of ancient Egypt wasn't even that large back
Mhm.
in like 1500 BC. And
Mhm.
then also like what evidence that their society was essentially based off of like slavery and the sort of chattel slavery that we might compare American slavery to. Like what evidence do we have that these great building structures and whatnot were built off of these slave labor? Like what records exist of these people in ancient Egypt during this time?
I said to the good brother Manito. So, unless do you believe that Manito is a credible scholar, a credible source?
So, so historians who look at the subject of Moses don't think that he's a historical figure. They think he's a mythical figure because there's just no evidence that he existed. But if we look at,
Moses, Manito don't think that though,
well,
brother. And
I'm
he's
not. You
you. There's
haven't
no king's list without Manito.
given an exact sort of citation of Monito talking about this evidence, this preponderance of evidence, these ancient Egyptian records. Show me the Medu Neter that refers to 1,000 Jews here or 10,000 Jews here who are enslaved. And those are low numbers, right? Because the ancient Egyptians kept meticulous records of their bounties from war, right?
And
The
that's
ancient
because of
Egyptians
Manito,
the
brother.
ancient Egyptians actually did have contact with Palestine, but they did not take hundreds of thousands of slaves from Palestine. There's no record of that. They literally would like record their battle with the Hyksos and talk about, oh, we took this many captives. There's plenty of quotes there. So it's not something they were ashamed of taking captives. And then you go on to say like the Hyksos are somehow the Jews, but they're completely different cultures. The Hyksos like worshipped like horse gods, and these the Hyksos pharaohs would name themselves like Apophis. They were not a monotheistic sort of like religion or peoples, and so they were very different than the Jews in that they did not worship the same God. So I'm just wondering how you can make that sort of comparison because they are certainly not the same people.
Well, on here, right, it says here, the king's list that Manito had access to is unknown to us, but of the surviving king's list, one most similar to his is the Turin Royal Canon, the Turin Papyrus, the oldest source with which we can compare to Manito are the Old Kingdom annals. So, and from the New Kingdom are the list at Karnak, constructed by the order of Tutmos III.
Yeah,
To go on, bro.
Right. Thutmose
yeah,
the
yeah,
third.
yeah.
So when we talk about the expelling of the Hyksos, it was a process, right? So Amos, he had a brother named Chamos before him, right? And his father Sequinere Tau before him. They were warring against Amos for a long time. And like Hatshepsut, who comes off like I don't know 5 kings later or something, right? She also claims to have expelled the Hyksos. She calls them abominations. We've expelled the abominations, and then perhaps historically it's more accurate that her stepson and her nephew too, Thutmose the third, was the one who like formally made sure that they were out of the country. I'm just wondering like what record of them being enslaved like massively that there is, because the story of the Bible is that the Jews were subservient to the Pharaoh of Egypt, right? The Hyksos threatened Egypt. The Hyksos ruled over the Nile Delta for 100 years at least. So that doesn't sound like a group of people who are enslaved. That sounds like a hostile group of foreign rulers, which is the word Hyksos. That's what it means. Hekakasu, foreign rulers. And so how could you mix being a slave with actually being kings in Egypt?
And remember, the names in that he did say, the names it was meant to have been broken down by um that Manito was talking about was broken down by Champollion, and it says here that he was having struggled. He encountered, yeah, he encountered some problems when he was trying to decipher it. So there's lots of problems, brother, based upon name, location, and interpretations, brother. So we know that
Yeah.
Moses is proper.
Also, what you now when you read a Manetho, okay, you have to be honest about it because you can't read it in a religious perspective, okay? Because we know a
I
religious
know that.
person, yeah, a religious person would would want to interpret it as from a biblical perspective rather than a historical perspective, because now we know as I just read, okay, according to Manetho, okay, the slavery that was taking place in Egypt, okay, was not during the time of this biblical Moses. The
No,
slavery that was taking
remember,
place, no, hold on. The slavery that was taking place in Egypt, he's talking about the only Moses was the Pharaohs, the Tutmosis, and that's that. But this biblical Moses or the so-called Asar Seth, okay, he came way after. And on top of that, the name of the pharaoh is Amenophis, which lived in the 18th dynasty. So this is an early pharaoh being placed in a later story. So it's like it's the story. You can't. That's why you can't be biased with it. You can't. It's
but
not one
remember
sided.
Josephus backs up Abraham. You see what I'm saying? On
Yes,
terms of
yes, yes. That's Josephus. Yeah. That's coming from Josephus, a
So,
Jewish.
so,
Yeah, but
so the
I mean, but
issue.
that's what I'm saying. You can't be one sided with it. There's a historical side and there's a biblical side to the story, and we know that the historical side is saying that when this slavery was taking place in Egypt, the people who were the slaves were the Egyptians. Okay, and the oppressors and the rulers and the slave masters were these shepherd kings or these Hyksos. But after that, way after that, it mentions the Moses story, and but the first Moses were actually the pharaohs, the Tutmoses, who expelled the Hyksos out of Egypt. So it's like, the story, you can't be one sided with it. You can it's telling different sides of the story.
I ain't gonna argue
But
with you,
but but, but
Radio.
brother Cable,
Radio One's an
Calvin
honest
Base.
scholar.
Mm.
Yeah, go on, brother.
But what do you mean when you say Josephus
Go on,
backs up
bro.
Abraham?
Like he claims, he backs up Abraham's story, innit? I'm just saying he talks about Abraham. He says that Abraham existed also, but I understand if it ain't at the same time, you ain't rocking with it. You gotta understand, maybe those guys
Well,
wasn't
no,
prominent.
no, but
Again, those
but
guys
but but
wasn't
but
prominent
but
at the time of the Turin stone.
but
So you
but
gotta
you
understand.
know the thing is that Josephus was a was Jewish. At some point he
Yes, I
was.
know.
So it's no surprise
He was Jewish,
that
yeah.
he will believe in Abraham. However, we have this field called archaeology.
You don't use none of Josephus's information at all.
For what? To validate the historicity of someone
Yeah, do you
1,000, two
agree?
thousand years
Do you
before he
think he
lived.
was? Do you think he was pseudo? I'm just saying on in his histories,
Josephus,
and
I
and
don't know
and
if it was.
Silicus and Doradus
I,
Silicus.
okay, let's put it this way. No, I wouldn't use Josephus to establish any
Catechus.
historicity. Okay, Tacitus for Abraham.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Ab-
Just would you? No. I mean, even this is information at all.
okay, but the thing is that because you mentioned Josephus backing up Abraham, if he existed, that's 2,000 years BCE or BC.
Yeah, I know.
You see,
Yeah, I know.
so you don't use someone to validate the historicity of someone else 2,000 years before. That's not how history works. And I'm not a historian, but you can ask any historian, you can contact any university of your choice, any archaeologist of your choice, and ask them, does it make sense or is it valid if I use someone in the year, um, in the first century AD to validate the historicity of someone in 2000 BC? That
I
just
see it all
doesn't
the
work
time
this
in.
way.
I see it
I'm
all the
sorry.
time in I see it all the time in scholastic, university, college debates from Oxford and Harvard that we can see
Yes,
online on YouTube. And it's
yes,
accepted.
and
I'm never seen anyone dispute that type of information. You'd be a first.
okay, okay. So, are you actually saying that we have records or data for Abraham?
But remember when Dr. Ben had the
Hold on, brother,
debate
brother. I'm asking you a
with
simple
no
question before we
John
talk
Henrik
about
Clark.
Dr.
Oh,
Ben. Before we talk
no,
about
John
Dr.
Henrik
Ben or
Clark.
John Henry Clark, yes. Is there any record that mentions Abraham that we know of? Is the historicity of Abraham established? And I
Well,
mean with records, not with belief.
I'm going with the records of Josephus, innit? And
Okay, okay,
stand on the
okay, okay,
teachings of
okay,
Manetho.
okay. Now, how do you
They were
feel
historians.
about? Okay,
Go on,
well,
brother.
I don't know if he was a historian, but and even Manetho, you can call him an historian. Manetho is described as an Egyptian priest, by the way. You see, so but if you want to call him an historian, that's fine. How do you feel about all these historians around the world who don't have a single document for Abraham in his lifetime, for Moses during his lifetime, for Jesus during his lifetime? Are we to presume that because Josephus talked
Jesus.
about Jesus?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
Jesus.
we got some proof.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, can you name now proof? I don't know what you mean by proof, but I'm just
I got a
asking.
bit of proof
Can you?
in
Okay,
in in,
fine.
in the
That's and
Vatican. Oh,
okay,
sorry, brother. I'll keep
okay,
cutting you.
okay. No, it's okay. We cut each other off sometimes. Please name me that document that mentions Jesus during his lifetime.
Well, I'm going with DNA proof. They say that in the Vatican Church they got the umbilical cord of Jesus in there. So you have to
Brother, do
deal with
you do
that.
you do you really believe that, brother?
Well, you have to debunk it, brother. That because if they're saying
But
they got
no,
the umbilical cord in the
brother,
Vatican Church,
brother. I've heard so many things, but now you in America they talk about bugging. You're bugging right now. I've heard so many things in my life, but the umbilical cord of Jesus in the Vatican. Come on now.
yes, brother. I was surprised when I saw it a
Okay,
couple
okay,
years
okay,
ago, but
okay,
brother,
okay. All right.
I would use that in a
Okay, hold
study.
on,
The
hold on,
Vatican
brother,
have a lot of money, brother.
Obviously, you believe in that. Who told you that?
I saw it on the TV, brother.
Oh my God,
Okay,
bro. You know
I
what?
saw it on the
okay.
news. I saw it on the news, bro.
Okay, okay. All right, okay.
Let me
So
find it for you,
basically,
bro. Let me find it.
okay. But brother, you are really all over the place right now. I encourage you to look for records, things that can be attested, because right now it's like you sound like some metaphysical people who are not who don't have their feet on the planet Earth. Their feet is on Pluto, Mars, wherever it is. But right now, and for you to believe that we have the umbilical cord of Jesus because you saw that on TV. On TV I saw Spider-Man. I don't believe in Spider-Man. You see, but brothers and
Bruh.
sisters, we've been live streaming for 2 hours, and that thing that I've heard. When I was younger, when I used to do the radio broadcast, I would have, laughed. I would have, but I'm more political now. I'm more political now. So I don't want you to feel bad, but I really want to say respectfully, brother, that, you're just too off right now. You cannot just believe something because you've seen it on TV. What I will do is I will let everybody make their closing remarks. So let's do it in that order. We will do carbon base and radio, dark matter, and then Hassan. So, brother carbon base, please feel free to make your
Can
closing remarks if you have.
can I at least put the here's the source for it in the back, bro? So like you
Well,
could have a look
brother,
at it.
I'd rather do that another time because yeah, You know,
Brother, I'm gonna
you
have to
really
use
believe?
everything I can to fight my. I believe that Jesus existed, brother. Yes.
Yep, yeah. But you see, brother.
You're gonna say
I
a
was
whole.
hold on,
Go on.
brother. Brother. You believing that Jesus existed, that's fine. But the evidence that you want to use, it has to make sense. Umbilical cord of Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know everything. Never heard that
Listen, it
until
in
today.
Vatican. I already put up the source. It was
Okay,
in the mirror.
brother, have you seen it?
No, I haven't. But you have to go to Vatican
Okay,
City.
okay. So you just believe it for face value, right?
I, do
Okay,
I believe it for face
okay.
value?
It's okay. Well, you do. You said because it was on TV. That's the only reason why you believe in it, right?
Well, people have, said that they've seen it, and you have to pay a certain amount of money to get in there, to see it.
Elijah Muhammad said that you can see the body of Jesus if you pay $6,000 and you get a certificate from the Pope of Rome. Do you believe that
Yeah,
we
that
can
was
see the
going
body
on.
of Jesus?
That was going on in that day. People was
No,
doing pilgrimages to France to see.
hold on. Going on in that day, Elijah Muhammad died in 1975. So do you believe that until the time that Elijah Muhammad died in 1975, you could go to Jerusalem to see the body of Jesus?
I'm saying, yeah, that if the people, if I don't know if they, people do that type of business today. So if you want to go and see, go in certain
Okay,
museum, you go to Vatican.
okay,
You
brother.
got to pay to
Okay,
get the
brother.
Vatican. You got to pay to get in
Okay,
certain
okay,
museums in the Vatican.
okay, okay. All right. Thank you very much, brother. I did not kick you out. I just muted you. Brother, where you want? I mean, that's too much for me at this point. The umbilical cord of Jesus Christ. That's just too much. I mean, we can do better as a people. Brother Radio One, please feel free to make your closing remarks if you have any.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I just want to say, there's much more to that Exodus story. There's also an account from the reign of Ramesses the third. When his father, during the time of his father, Set Nakat, it speaks of an Asiatic, like plundering the towns of Egypt, destroying the temples, and like a out of order, miserable time for Egypt. And then his father, he he rises kings, and kicks the Asiatics out of Egypt and cleanses the throne. And that story also sounds similar to the Exodus story. So we have really two stories of the Egyptians being enslaved and being plundered by these Asiatics. And the historical stories, show that it was the Asiatics who were doing the enslaving in Egypt. Both the Hyksos and this story shows that. But no record of the Egyptians enslaving Asiatics. And if you want to say talk about the captives on the tombs, I wouldn't call that slavery. I would just call that, those that, yeah, I would just call those people captives of war, not slaves, because we don't see them being enslaved or doing hard labor. They're just captives of war. So you can't confuse that with slavery. And yeah, but I just want to say, it's been a great discussion. And also Brother Shaka as well, touching on the Brother Jabari thing. Now I commend both of you brothers for being honest. Unlike the Hebrew Israelites, to say that, I come from West Africa, but I practice the Kemetic religion, but still, although the connection is there, but I commend you brothers for being honest about that, because the Hebrew Israelites, they don't be honest. They're not honest. They're laying claim to being Hebrew Israelites, and they can't prove that they're descendants, and they can't even prove their religion itself. So, and that makes it even worse. But I'll touch more on that, next time. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, at least you brothers, I commend you for being honest. It would be nice if the Hebrew Israelites were honest and say, yeah, I follow the Abraham religion, I follow the Bible, but I'm African. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. No, but instead, they be dishonest and say I am a Hebrew Israelite and can't even prove it without without a shadow of doubt. They can't prove it at all. But yet, they
I'm so,
still.
sorry, brother Radio One. I apologize for interrupting you, but brother Carbon Base, I'm glad you're still here. I want to tell you something. Brother Carbon Base, are you still here? Brother Carbon Base, are you still here? I mean, you're on the panel. I've unmuted you, but you're not replying. But anyway, you're still on the panel because I saw that you left a message saying, Shaka, peace, hope we can do it again. I want to show you something about the carbon base. Now, this is the article that you've shared, and it's from the Daily Mail. So I was very surprised. And what I did is a search. So I have the search for cord. See? Now, by the way, for those who I've shared the link in the chat. The Daily Mail is quite a reliable website, really. And they're asking, is this a true portrait of Christ? Vatican treasures, including Holy Tower of Jesus, to go on display at British Museum. Now, I've heard about, forgot the name
I'm
of
here, brother.
that thing.
I didn't
Okay,
think that
yes.
you wanted to talk to me anymore, brother. That's why I thought you. I
Oh,
hope
no,
I can
no,
come
no.
back to your
Listen,
show, brother. Is that all right if I come
everybody's
back?
free.
We don't have. But every time you
Everybody's
talk
free.
about,
Everybody.
I'm just saying to you,
But
brother. Every
hold on,
time
brother,
you,
just please, if you don't mind, let me just finish with this point. So, but everybody's welcome, including yourself, to come back here. So, when I did a search for cord, I was like, I can't believe the Daily Mail will claim that we have the umbilical cord of Jesus. So, this is what it says there. It says, other treasures, and I'll make it larger. Other treasures to feature in the exhibition include an object once believed to contain Jesus's umbilical cord. You see, brother? So you just made what is called today a fake news.
okay.
You see, and we
Well,
have to
I've
be
seen TV
very
programs of
careful
it,
with
but
that.
okay, fair enough, brother. You got me there.
Well, I think probably you've seen a TV program talking about some
Yeah, yeah. That's
so-called
why I did
treasures,
see it. Yeah, I
but
did
they
see
must have
one. Yeah,
mentioned an object that once contained, that once believed to contain. You see, once again, believing is not knowing. You see, but
yeah.
anyway, I'm glad that you were able to see that. So, um,
I hope I can
uh,
come back, my brother, and I hope you're not mad
yes,
at me
yeah.
or anything like
Oh no,
that.
I'm not
But you
mad at
gotta
you, but
understand,
we
brother
have
Shopper.
to be careful. We have to be careful. I could use the word responsible, but I don't want to sound condescending. But
Mhm.
you've made some very terrible claim right now. But we got
Okay,
the clarity out of it, so we all make mistakes. Let's call that a mistake. But
right.
stay with us so we can allow Radio One to finish his closing remarks. Yeah, sorry about this, brother Radio One.
Oh,
Please continue.
oh yes. I'm not gonna be long winded. I just want to say, we have to put honesty first. We have to be honest about what we read, and and be honest about the fact that there is two sides to this story. Okay, and if you're religious and you're in favor of the Abrahamic faith, you're going to accept the biblical side. But me, as being an African and being an Egyptian, I'm more towards the historical side. Because the Bible side is trying to make me look bad. It's trying to make Africans look bad. And but we have the historical side saying no, the Bible version is not true. It was the other way around. So that is the story I'm going with. And that is the story that history supports. And with that said, peace, brother Shaka, and brother, all the brothers on the panel. Good God Allah, Dark Matter, and Hassan. Peace to you all, and Hotep.
Peace, brother.
Peace Radio.
Hotel brother Radio One.
Hotep.
Islam and Hotep, my bro. I love this.
You're on mute, brother Shaka, I believe.
Thank you, Radio One. I was talking in the air. Yeah, I just wanted to say that Tall H. Hold on. Tall H mentioned that Chief X is on the hunt for Egyptomaniacs. If Chief X wants to call and state his piece, then he's free to do so. I mean, he has 4,000 subscribers, so maybe that will give him more subscribers. I have a little bit more than that, so if he's looking for clout, he will get the clout here. But it's very sad to hear what he had to say uh, about Kemet, because he was very, very, very disrespectful towards Kemet. And I don't hear him being so critical about Abrahamic believers. You see, if anybody doesn't like Kemet, then fine,
No,
do your
I
thing, do
agree with
you,
you, brother. That
you
was
know.
disgusting what I saw that brother do about, but I don't think he likes he hates Islam and Abrahamics. He
Well,
makes no buts about that,
you
bro.
see, the thing is that I'm not about hating any belief system. But I'm not going to appreciate or respect someone because he hates a belief system. To each his own. But the thing is that I really don't understand if people are not into Kemet, then so be it. It's fine. Nobody's under any obligation. But to disrespect it, I feel like it's not the way to go. And if he doesn't disrespect the other Abrahamic belief system, that means that he's being biased, he's being unfair. But anyway, actually, brother Carbon Base, please feel free to make your closing remarks
I'll just say
if you have
I
any.
do enjoy Chief X's content, even though it's very inflammatory. He does talk about the Abrahamics too. But brother, I enjoy talking to you. I hope I can keep coming back. And every time you gotta understand, I like the intellectual sparring. And every time you attack the Abrahamics or something close to Islam, I'm gonna try to defend it, bro. So I'm just saying,
Have you
yeah,
heard me?
that's
Have you heard me attacking the Abrahamic belief system?
no. If it's or if you ask me questions, and I'm gonna try my best to answer it. So
Oh,
not attack. I don't
okay,
believe you're an attacker. I don't believe you're not a
okay,
hater or
all
anything.
right,
And I
okay.
understand your problems with Elijah Muhammad's statements. That's why I just said I could only apologize for him. And I said he did say those things, but all of that straight haired thing, and he said it was a gift, the woolly hair. So you know what I mean, like. It wasn't the way that Farrakhan's some new stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
just to make you know
brother,
that.
brother, I want to ask you, what nationality are you? Like,
Oh, Jamaican.
oh, Jamaican? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Well, brother, man, yeah, yeah, well, you might as well hop on the African side, you
Yeah,
know,
I know I'm African, brother. I know I'm African, brother. I ain't
yeah,
gonna
and go,
play with that.
yeah, and go against the Abrahamic faith, because when we put ourselves in the story, we are the Egyptians, we are the Hamites, we are the Africans, and the Bible admits that we are the enemies of the Israelites. So, I'm saying,
And I know that brother Shaka's familiar with the book by Wesley Muhammad, Black Islam, and I've read the book. Do believe, I do agree with him. Obviously, I stand on the shoulders of different scholars because I didn't do the research, but I stand on his shoulders when he says that we are descendants of the Bedouin people that built the pyramids of Egypt. So you probably know what I'm talking about, right? The Bedouins or Nabateans. So I do believe that we are descendants of that race. That's why we was, put in, we went through the slave trade. We was targeted. So anyway,
yeah,
brothers, peace, man. Peace, everybody.
oh yes, peace, brother, peace.
Yes, peace, brother Carbon Base. Now, just for the record, when it comes to Chief X, I want to show you, and I made a live stream about this. No, not this one actually. I would share this one there. Made a live stream about this. I'm going to wait for the advert to go. There it is. And I'm about to share the link actually. Um, So there it is. So Chief X said, he said F ancient Egypt, F ancient Egypt, and Hotep word. See, because we have Tor H who wrote, I don't believe he disrespected Kemet. He was disrespecting the pseudos that jump over West Africa. You know, when you say F Hotep, the Hotep word, yes, you are being disrespectful towards Kemet. Now, I've shared the link. Did I share the link? Yes, I've shared the link in the chat, and people can see the video right there. See, and I made that video. When was it? I don't see the date there. I don't know why I don't see the date there. But if I look at the comment, that was 10 months ago. You see, so I addressed that, and the video is still there. His video is still there. Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure if his video is still there, but this is what he said. You know, so we have some people who disagree with some of the things that are said from Kemetic people, but going to the point of saying F, you know, that's just messed up. So I mean, if you know Chief X, you know, you can tell him that, you know,
No, no, I say I enjoy his. I find him funny. That's more on that level. I don't really get attacked. Like if he says F Islam, I'm not. I don't get triggered. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get triggered by that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well,
that's
You know what I'm saying?
you
I'm not
saying that,
sensitive
but
like that.
the day someone would say it, I think you will feel otherwise. But anyway, that was just
No,
for the
people
record.
say it all the time, brother, in the UK, bro. You know
You
what I
sure?
mean?
I
Yeah,
lived in
bro.
the UK. I never heard it once in my life, and I'm not saying people don't say it, but they
Yeah.
probably say that behind closed doors. I mean, they beheaded a soldier in broad daylight, and it was two black men who did it in broad daylight. You see, so
No,
I
I'm
really
not one of
doubt.
those. I'm not. I'm not.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
that type.
saying you are.
You
I'm not
could
saying
say
you are.
that to me,
I'm saying no,
Shaka.
no,
No,
no.
I'm just saying,
No.
Shaka. If
Okay,
you,
never
I'm
mind,
just saying
never
in
mind.
real life. I was just saying
Okay,
I'm not that type. There are
Uh,
Muslims that exist out here
it's,
that would kill you for that.
no,
And I'm saying
no.
I'm not one of those Muslims who's
Yeah.
sensitive. I'm not
Mm,
sensitive. So you could say that
mm.
around me. I wouldn't go and tell. I wouldn't try to
Okay,
get you hurt. You could say that
okay.
around me,
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
not gonna get triggered. I'm not gonna want to fight with you
Okay,
or anything. Like I'll
okay,
try
okay,
to prove you with facts. I'll try to
okay.
deal with
All
you
right.
intellectually.
Okay. Thank you very much, brother Dark Matter. Please feel free to make your closing remarks.
Ah man, thank you so much, brother. You know, I enjoy this. This has been one of the better ones, believe it or not. Um, you know, and brother, I got what I really want to say to you is that I think you need to ground yourself, man, and build yourself a solid foundation. Because you're a little bit all over the place, man, and you know, just for the sake of a better argument and to debate much better, I think you need to ground yourself a bit more, you know, so you can have the tools and the research to really to really come in and really get the fight going.
You're actually
Um,
talking about carbon base. I thought you were talking about me.
yeah, no, carbon based, brother, carbon based. Yeah, yeah,
But
I'm
Shaka
speaking to
made
that
me do.
brother.
Shaka made me
Yeah.
do the acrobatics, though. It was Shaka who forced me into the acrobatics. So
No, it's not. It's not him. It's you, man. You need to just, get yourself based, and get it so you can, be better equipped and prepared for a debate on the panel, bro.
if I
But
came to a
I still
debate,
enjoyed it
okay,
all.
okay then,
Yeah, I
bro.
still enjoyed it. I
I,
still
if
enjoyed
I
it.
had a debate, I would
None
have to do
whatsoever.
those acrobatics. If I was having a debate, I have to do those exact. That's the exact way I'll deal with the debate. I have to do acrobatics. It's
And
just you
uh,
know.
and I'm still I was still dissatisfied when with the question on Manetho because the brother asked, can you show any historical or archaeological connection, and you didn't want to go there, man. I mean, you have to go there because when we're dealing with real life stuff, man. You're gonna have to look at the archaeological evidence and
I've
stuff
got
like that.
linguistics.
Uh,
I've got
Yeah.
linguistics, and I've got oral tradition on my side because
Uh,
the teachings of Moses, according to the the Hebrews or the Jews or the Israelites, they still carry on the tradition today. So I think based upon tradition, when it comes down to that and linguistics, I got you. You know what I mean? Shocker knows it's a
yeah.
leg lock. He knows
Yeah.
it's a submission hose. He knows it.
Man,
It's no rope to
I'm
go
not
and get.
gonna. I'm not gonna dwell too much on that. Maybe next time when you come back, we'll get back to that. I'm not trying to hold up the rest of the brothers and Shaka up too long. So just wrapped up now. But I want to say much love and respect to all the brothers on the panel, to everyone. Brother Shaka, thanks for having me as once again. I always enjoy being here. And but with me, I'll close off with saying this. With me, I practice African spirituality, and because I believe in going back to the root, to who we are, and so I do practice that, and I stay to the roots. Anything outside of that, I don't get myself involved too much. I could talk about it, I could research it, and I could, for the sake of debates or arguments, I could, but I stayed into the spirituality. So I'll close off with that, guys, and thank you and peace, bro.
Thank you very much, Brother Nestle Mirat. And now it's Hassan's turn. Please feel free to make your closing remarks if you have any.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. Dark Matter, I think he was muted for much of that discussion, and he unmuted himself to laugh, which I thought was hilarious. But on the note of African spirituality, I think when we talk about people like Josephus or like any sort of quote unquote historical or religious source, you have to look at the motivations and the biases that the people who wrote them are, right? Like, is it any coincidence that Jewish people who wrote the Torah decide that Jewish people are God's chosen people above everyone else? No, it's not a coincidence, right?
Mm,
It's right.
interesting.
But if you look at Josephus, right, he talks about how the it was actually Moses and the Jews who taught the ancient Egyptians all their science, and then they in turn taught it to the Greeks, right? The only true part about that is that the ancient Egyptians taught it to the Greeks, and we know that because the Greeks said it, right? But it's taken from this perspective of this racial or ethnic superiority where they're saying, yeah, no, it was us who taught the Egyptians, right? And the obvious question for that is, where are your pyramids, right? Where are these great sort of, wonders of the world that you have to, show for this? But Jewish people or like the Jewish tradition, right? They came up when we were having like the battle at Megiddo, right? I don't what was it, Thutmose or someone who like that who had this battle where literally Armageddon is based off of the battle at Tel Megiddo, right? The ancient Egyptians ruled that sort of region of the world for so long and had such an impact on the nearby cultures that the people who were writing the Torah thought that if their God could conquer the Egyptian gods, then their God was better. And so you have to look at it from that sort of historical perspective and see how the Egyptian stories bleed in to sort of our Abrahamic faiths versus the other way around, like using the ancient Egyptian sort of histories to try to reverse engineer something that came long after it. But thank you for your time. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Brother Hassan. And brothers and sisters, for those who feel like it, I'm sharing in the chat my Cash App and my PayPal. And as you can see, the Cash App is my art forever, all in one word. So, of course, dollar sign first, then my art forever. And the PayPal is paypal.me/my art forever. every now and then, or at least once in a lifetime, it would not hurt. It's a shame that it's always the same people who make donations. That being said, thank you very much for calling in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for the messages in the chat. Thank you for the comments that you leave on my videos. And what you've heard today is a great display of how we can improve, because we hear all sorts of things, but just because you hear something doesn't make it a fact. Doesn't make it a fact, and just because something sounds good doesn't make it a fact either. You see, and we can
Mm.
definitely get some clarity. Let me just mute. And I did not say, but that's the reason why I've muted a few people earlier. I've actually muted everybody that wasn't talking, just to avoid any other noise. But it's nothing, no problem at all. It's no issues. It's just for the sake of the clarity. So we can definitely improve as a people. We can. I grew up in a Abrahamic belief system, and it took me some time to read about history and realize that it was not as solid as I first thought. So some people consider that I'm quite knowledgeable, and yeah, I'm happy to hear it. But I want you to know that I was just like you, and it took a fair bit of learning, and listening helps when you talk with people, but reading has to be some of the greatest tool in order to be um, well versed. And nowadays, we are in a digital era where people don't really read that much, you see. And it helps a lot when you have videos, presentations, because you can not only hear, but you can see and you can even read. So you can see imagery. If we're talking about an artifact, you can see the artifact. And you can actually hear the person speaking, making a presentation, and so on. So it helps when you deal with some people who are on point, who are accurate. But a lot of time in video format, we have people who might say some things are accurate, but they talk a good game actually. They freestyle a fair bit, you see. Now, if people wonder what to read, um, preferably books by PhDs, but they are not entertaining. They are heavy. But as you get knowledge, you just want to have more knowledge. It's not for everybody. Some people just want to go to the movie, want to go to the club, make it rain for some of them. Some people just want to drink, smoke, have a good time, and that's it. And hey, it's up to them. But other people will spend time learning, and it's not something very easy or very entertaining. But at some point, you kind of get some love for knowledge. Now, I've ordered this book in English, the English version of this book, the Maxims of Ptahotep. In English, it's called the Wisdom of Ptahotep. The sad thing is that I don't want people to feel bad, but when it was available, I was hesitant about buying it because I already have the French version. And I'm sorry because I'm kind of multitasking and I have baby girl who's sleeping on my shoulder. This book is very great because not only is the wisdom of Ptahotep, but you first have it with some pictures, some pictures from original artifact, but you do have the Middle Nature transcript with the translation and the transliteration. So this is beautiful for people who study the Middle Nature. So I thought, okay, later on when I have more people, more support, then I will eventually get the English version. And now that I look for the English version, it's out of print, so it's like $100 and so on. But I found a cheaper version. I don't know how long it would take me. This book, for example, I first had the French version, but since I'm giving Medu Nature classes, in order to stop translating in real time, then I got the English version. You see, so I don't want people to feel bad. I don't want it to sound like, oh, I have to pay so much money, I have to do so many things. But if I'm supported, we could get a lot more things done. I cannot do it all by myself. So if people cannot assist me in my research, well, they can at least assist me financially. So, so that being said, you might find a copy of the English version of the book, and I hope that it will go in print again. And I'm saying this because I remember talking to a brother who said that he wanted to get the Peret Emheru of Ani, the Book of the Dead of Ani, so-called Book of the Dead, which is a misnomer. And I told him that he should not have too much high expectation because it's like a compilation of spells. It will not really read like a usual story, so people might be disappointed. So this is a Kemetic writing that I am recommending for everybody. Everybody. I'm not saying that people should not look for the Peret Emheru of Ani, but this is the wisdom of Ptahhotep. It is usually labeled, or is many times labeled, as the oldest book in history. You see? And the wisdom there is great. So for all my people worldwide who consider themselves Kemetic or who are interested in Kemet, Ma'at, who are interested in the traditional African ways, the wisdom of Ptahhotep. Now you don't have to buy the book because there are so many translations of it on so many different websites. But for those who take classes, Medu Nature classes, you have the hieroglyphic transcript. So I'm waiting to receive my copy of the English version of that book and see what we'll do, what I will do for the classes, and what I will do for the average audience who don't take the Medu Nature classes. But I can never stress that enough. I loved reading that book so much, and I want to really dwell into the hieroglyphic, the Medu Nature, because it will be another and different experience. So you have the name of this author, okay? That's his surname there, Jacq. That's his family name, and it's called The Wisdom of Ptahhotep. So that being said, stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to, Brother Necheru, I would definitely holler back at you. Hotep.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving Medu Nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Medu Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Medu Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Medu Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Medu Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medunetshur classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge. No question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medunetshur class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/Ma'at Forever.